What up, fam? Hit that like, hit that subscribe. This is Agree to Disagree. Breaking down everything Eagles Packers with you tonight. The playoffs are upon us, baby. Let's go.
Uncle Sweeps, Nick Delgado, the legendary Brian Wilson, and the fucking man himself, Tom Arnone. These three guys from Jersey bringing you real talk with no agenda. You don't like them? Tough shit. It's their show, and they're going to say whatever the hell they goddamn want.
You know it. Welcome in, everybody. This is Agree to Disagree, only on HUD Radio. Every Sunday, we are brought to you by our doc, Make Them Yours. That's Dr. Paul Vidal, Specialized Physical Therapy, locations in Burlington, Cherry Hill, New Jersey. Find them on the web, specializedphysicaltherapy.com. As always, no Brian Wilson right now. That's Nick Delgado, Uncle Sweeps. That's Greg Milanovic. I'm Tom Arnone. Everybody out there, welcome in, babe. We got a lot to go over. Crumb of the week at the end of the show. Sixers return home Monday after a long trip out. Well, a little trip out west, and then they finished it off in Brooklyn last night with a really good win, much needed win. But they'll return home Monday, and they got Phoenix coming into town, so they return home Monday till Friday, and then they head out to Orlando. So we'll talk a little 10-9-8 later on the show. Eagles beat the Giants. If you care, if you watch it, you saw the Eagles' second string is better than the Giants' first string, so that tells you how far away the New York Football Giants are, which is great to see. It's a great problem to have if you're an Eagles fan or you're a fan inside the NFC East, because they're going to be bad for a minute. They're going to be bad for a minute. I don't care. They're a while away. You know, their defense is okay with Dexter Lawrence, good player. Got a few pieces there, and obviously one, maybe two pieces on offense. And I know you're a quarterback away, but they're an offensive line away still. They're a lot of pieces away. So hopefully that stays that way. But our main topic at hand, Eagles Packers preview, predictions, early predictions. Obviously, we're Sunday 4:30, baby. Perfect time. We thank you. Eagles fans will be all jazzed up down the link, freezing their asses off, and we'll be comfy. We'll be comfy and wound up ourselves. But our poll question,
it'll be wild down there.
Yeah, well, you are confident the Eagles would defeat the Packers in the wild card round. Do you agree or disagree? Let us know. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, that's where we're live. Everybody get your podcast. We're there as well. Hit the like, subscribe, follow. Most importantly, join the conversation tonight. I mean, confident. I'm as confident as I can. I'm as confident as I can get right now. Right? I mean, I hate having to beat a team twice. The only thing I like about it is we haven't played them. Right, we played in week one. A lot of changes from week one to now. They obviously have had some injuries. No Jair Alexander has already upped my confidence going into this football game because of what we have on the outside and now their lack of ability to be able to match up. All right, and then I look at obviously Jordan Love getting a little nicked up today, and then Watson going down, and we'll see what happens throughout the week with those two guys. But that ups my confidence level, and I believe we're just better. So we're a 14-win team. So, of course, I'm confident, as we should be, as the Eagles should be going into this football game. They should be throughout the entire postseason, because there's going to be only one other team with 14 wins when it's all said and done. So, you know, right? Or no, because there'll be – sorry, I muted you guys, so there wasn't.
3, yeah. These two have 14 right now. And the Chiefs have 15.
Yeah, so you're talking about two teams inside the NFC that
are a great year.
So the way I look at it is I'm extremely confident, and the only thing that makes me a little bit nervous is the fact that Jalen hasn't played in a minute. But when you're a guy that's been in the league this long, I can't make those excuses for you either, right? You're a franchise guy. You missed 3 weeks of football, right? Essentially, you didn't miss 2 months, right? You played a ton of football this year. Ton of football he's played. So that would be the only little concerning thing going into this football game. Outside of it being a postseason game and anything can happen. I mean, you got to be concerned. Jordan Love and the Packers went to Dallas last year, beat them in the wild card round, right? So anything's possible, right? Of course. And when you talk about postseason teams, everybody's good usually, right? Everybody's a good team that's left standing. So they're a good football team, and they've obviously had a taste of the postseason before, just like we have. But I believe we're better, and we should win this football game. And if we don't, that's an epic failure. So that's why I'm confident. Right? I'm confident. It's NFC title game or bust. Right? Because we can talk. Things can happen in a title game, right? You can lose to a better team. A lot of unknowns leading up to who that matchup is or would be. Okay? But the matchup in front of us right now, we're the better football team. The record dictates that. Week 1 dictated that. And the rest of the season dictated that. Because in reality, we weren't the same team week 1 as we were week 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. We just weren't all the way through. We were a better football team. We got better than we did in week 1. I don't know how much better they got from week 1 on. Right? I don't know how much better they got, but I know we got a lot better. So bring on the Packers, bring on the cheese, and giddy up and let's goddamn go. So I agree.
Yeah, Tommy, I think to your last point, I think they got worse, especially coming down the stretch, right? You talk about Watson going out today. You talk about Jordan Love being nicked up. Even their last few games, they haven't looked like they looked at certain parts during this year. Certain parts during this year, I didn't want to see anything with the Green Bay Packers, right? They were rocking and rolling on offense. They still probably couldn't stop anybody, but they were really good on offense. They were the team that went into Dallas last year and beat them. That team is not coming into Philly. So I agree to the poll. I am confident in this Eagles team. I am confident in their ability to hold serve at home. I think it's opening up at a 3.5 line. That line the line is the only thing worrying me about it because I feel like that should be higher.
Bingo was his name-o.
I think that feel like that should be a 5-6 point line somewhere. Is what it feels like. But that's the only thing worrying me. The Green Bay Packers do not worry me. Even though Jordan Love is really, really good, he will turn the football over. He will give you the football. And again, you lose a guy like Watson potentially, or even if he's hampered. We've seen them, right? Jaden Reed did just about everything they could do with Jaden Reed in that first game. Right? And so we saw all that. I don't think there's anything new that that Peter LaFleur is going to come up with that's going to shock us when it comes to Reed in this offense. So I am absolutely confident in this game, and we're ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, I mean, the Eagles are the best team in the NFC. So, the games aren't played on paper, they're played on the field. So, but when we're talking about answering the question and being confident, you should be 100% confident, right? You still respect your opponent. You still understand that it's a very good football team, all right? They're banged up. And I think they were consistent all year. So to what Tommy was saying, yeah, the Eagles were 2-2, and then they went bananas. So they went, from where they were to being, a really, 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 really good football team. They went from, hey, there's a lot of question marks. Nick's the clown. He's talking to fans, and then they became the upper tier. All right, so I think the Packers. That was a good fight in Brazil. It was a good football game. Love came out and injured, but they were kind of consistent all year. Just obviously until today. And today, like you said, for them, you would think they were all jacked. They should have been all jacked up. Because nobody should want to come to Philly. That's the way I look at it. If I had my choice to go to Tampa or the Rams or Philly, come on. So they wound up taking the lead late, and then their defense let them down. So, we'll see.
Tom, you're muted.
When you're talking about playoff football, anything can happen.
Sure.
But I'm confident that we're the better football team, right?
100%.
To the poll, because we are. I'm confident that we have the better defense, because that's true, because we are. I'm confident that we have a better offense, because we do.
Yeah.
The only thing that scares me with them is Josh Jacobs and their ability to stay on the football field, right? And their ability to do the same things that we can do, which is wear you out through the course of a game. And he runs physical, he runs hard. I think if there was a place you looked at that maybe at times that we got gashed, it would be that. It would be the run game at times, and not a lot, obviously, because we were great against the run. but that's like the one thing maybe that a team could hang their hat on. But controlling the clock's always the thing. So that's you're looking for ways that they can come in and beat you. That's the ways, right? They control the clock. Obviously the turnover battle always, like you said, Jordan Love enjoys turning the football over at times, and we've been taking the football over at a higher clip towards the end of the season here. So you think those stars align? I don't know. They're the ways they can beat you. But even that being said, we have more ways we can beat them.
Sure. We could get out to a lead, right? And we could alleviate Josh Jacobs' ability to, or the Packers, the ability to run at a high clip. They're never going to go away from Josh Jacobs, right? He's so important to their team and to their offense. But to your point, Tommy, about controlling the clock, if we get up to a 10, 14-point lead, that's going to limit how much that they're going to be able to run Josh Jacobs, because they're going to have to attempt to get back into the game. Yeah,
and there's no excuses. And this week, there's none. You're not playing a team that's as good as you.
Right.
You're just not. You're just not. No matter playoff football, like I said, or not, you're not. There's no excuse when you win 14 games in the regular season for you to be anything less than a minimum getting into a divisional round.
And realistically, like it's not asinine to say we should be 16-1.
Yeah, shoulda, woulda, coulda, right? That
I agree with drops. You're two drops.
We're right there. We're right there.
No
we're
excuses,
right there.
but you should be 16-1.
Yeah, we're right there. We're absolutely right there, and we've shown it all year. Our defense has been elite. Okay, the only time we didn't look elite was the Washington game. Really, like towards to the back end of the season, that's the only game that we didn't look elite because he ran all over the place.
Correct.
He was a playmaker that day, and you tip your cap to that. Jordan Love is not Daniels when it comes to running around. He's not. Now, can he extend plays and throw them? Absolutely, he can, right? But he's not him. So you're a different quarterback. But if we can, the whole adage, you get after the quarterback. Who's going to get after the quarterback more?
And albeit the last 2 weeks it was the Cowboys and the Giants. If knock on wood, if Jalen gets dinged up or something, and he's like you said, the concussion gets a little hairy. I think Tanner showed that he's a viable backup. All right, I'm not saying that it's Nick Foles and he's going to ride in the magic carpet ride. All right, but the Eagles are still a better football team. All right, and I'm not saying the other guy he's going to replace Hurts. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying if he had to go out for a stretch of time or he was banged up, I think this kid is capable of managing the game. He obviously is. His arm talent is there. The playoffs are a whole different story, right? But the Eagles have enough weapons, and they can protect them up front, and they can run the football.
Right? It was cold today.
They play great, and they play great defense. And they play great defense.
You can judge a guy a lot in the cold weather and how he throws the ball. And he threw the ball well in the cold today. And that tells me a lot. Because if you're going to throw the ball well in 30, you're sure as hell going to throw the ball well in 70. Right? And you're going to play probably more games in that kind of condition than the other type of condition. So that's always a positive. Yeah, that was a great sign. The biggest takeaway from today is you have your backup quarterback and a capable one. And a young one that you can develop and that can turn into whatever it turns into. I'm not saying a controversy here, but quarterbacks are needed around the league, right? And if you have the ability to develop a guy and move on from him and get a lot back in return, then that's a home run. It's a home run draft pick as a 6th-round pick and home run development inside the organization. QB Factory 101. If you want to circle back to the good old days. Take it back to the good old times.
I agree. And I think the confidence level, like I said, I know we're having some microphone issues or whatever.
No, you're good now. You're golden.
But the confidence level should be off the through the roof. All right. That's what you don't have to be cocky, but that's what swagger is. All right. You should, you take the field and you expect to win and you expect to punish people, and you're the better football team. So, I was with Greg. I'm not sure what Vegas is doing. All right. And that's the only thing that I would look at. It doesn't mean anything. I mean, in the grand scheme of things. All right. But I was shocked to see 3.5, especially with being a little banged up. It doesn't have to be 8. It's no disrespect. But, I mean, you get 3 for being home team. So you're almost telling me that's a pick 'em? Nah, sorry. Yeah. Not happening.
Well, you know why
it is right now? Penny's parking lot ain't happening at the link. Ain't happening anywhere.
That thing moves Tuesday or Monday.
The
second Jalen's out of concussion protocol, or at least not listed in it anymore, right? Because he's been listed in it.
It
That's
might,
what's,
it, yeah, it
that's
might
what's
end at
affecting
5.
that line.
It
I
might go
agree
off
with
for
you.
5. It might
Yeah,
go
it'll
off
be 5. Maybe I think my thing 5.5. I think he'll finish at, which is it makes me feel a lot more comfortable than 3.5. But I also listen. I've dove in the lines our whole lives, and sometimes you think they tell you something, they don't tell you a damn thing, and the Eagles beat them by 2 scores, 2 touchdowns, right? So, or the vice versa. You see 5.5, 7-point favorites get their butts kicked at home in playoff games. So, I thought I've been on the right side of that a lot. You try to take what you can from it, and you gotta use your common sense here. And I think the second he's out of concussion protocol, that line will change. But the things that we can do on offense, there isn't many teams in football, if any, can do.
Yes.
That's the problem. To be able to run it, the kind of clip we can run the football at, not just from the running back perspective, but from the quarterback perspective as well. All right. And then you add the weapons on the outside and a 50-50 type guy. And you got a great route run on the other end. It's just, I don't know how you stop that. Their defense wasn't good enough with Jair Alexander to stop that. You take him out of that, how are they good enough? And maybe I'm disrespecting their defense, but I don't think I am.
No, I think you're pretty spot on. Jair is a huge part of that. I mean, they did get who's the Edger and Cooper back. He's been playing a little, he's been playing decent. They could get to the quarterback, but they can't cover what we have on the outside. They can't. And especially if Goddard's back and the way Goddard looked early on today, he didn't look like he had any hitch in his giddy up, right? He looked like he was smooth.
You're right.
So now again, you add somebody else that is a high level pass catcher to those 2 studs outside.
He was at that to the lake.
Yeah,
he was that in the Great Lakes.
It was again. We talk about referee play. I'm not that guy, but that's passing. The third down is pass interference on Thor. Thor grabbed Hawkinson's arm at the last minute. So if you can see a replay, rewind it. I mean, it's just the referee play is atrocious all around the league. You know what I mean? I got no dog in the fight. But take a look at it. It's embarrassing. It's blatant. I mean, he grabs his right arm. The ball's in air. Ball's in the air.
Umberto asked a question. Hold on, Umberto. He says, Tom, are we slightly worried about Jalen in the postseason? He performed well in the Super Bowl. In his 2 wins in 22, he didn't have the ball much, or he didn't have to do much, sorry. Will he prove he can be a winner in the postseason? I think he's proven he can win in the postseason. I think when you take a team to a Super Bowl, regardless, you've proven you can win. Now, if you're saying be able to carry and be able to throw for 250, 300 yards, he's also proven he can do that too. You can look just at the Super Bowl, right? If you really want to go back to that. So he's proven he can do it. Am I telling you that he's definitely going to do that? We'll see, right? But he has the ability to do so. So I'm not worried about Jalen production as much as I'm worried about, like, is he healthy? As much as I think this was just to keep an open roster spot and keep him in protocol, part of me believes that. But it's still a little strange and a little worrisome too.
Yeah. Once it came in that again, gamesmanship, it is what it is, right? But once he technically wasn't cleared for this game, there was a little worry on the health. I have zero worries about him gearing up and being ready to go for Sunday, right? And for a playoff game and for a playoff run. I don't have any issues there, but it was a bit concerning that he technically still hasn't been cleared. Could be still gamesmanship on our end, but that usually gets taken care of pretty quickly.
And that's what I said to my dad. I said, I really think it's just to keep an open roster spot for an extra quarterback, just to get the reps, because he's not going to be practicing much anyway,
right?
Throughout the period, because he's not going to be playing. That's where my head went with it. But listen, I'm not worried about Jalen if he just doesn't turn the football over. I'll continue to say that. Like, my biggest thing is if you keep Jalen around 20, 25 attempts, we're probably winning that football game. More often than not, we win those types of football games. So that's not a shot at him. That says the kind of runner he is and the kind of runner you have in the backfield with him. Because we see the difference. Saquon's awesome, period. But we do see the difference with Jalen and Saquon and Saquon without Jalen. That's 101. We knew that coming into it. We all said that in preseason. That's what's going to make this offense electric. And that's what I said. Oh, I compare Saquon to the same type of years of Christian McCaffrey, except on steroids, and people laughed at me. And how's that look? Right? Because if Jalen was healthy and they both are healthy, you knew they could run the ball like this. This wasn't like, oh, Tom's so smart. You just knew, oh my God, how do you stop it? How do you consistently read the RPO game in it? Now, if you have a quarterback that doesn't move, obviously you can tee off more on the running back. But Saquon's still going to get his, but maybe not 2K worth of his, right? 1,500, 1,600. But 2K comes from a great offensive line and the RPO game. Those two work together in a weird way that gets you an extra 300-400 yards in a year. They just do. And they open up the passing game because you're that good back there because you just don't have to worry about stopping Saquon. I mean, Jalen can go for a 30-yard run. So you have to game plan for both. And that's what makes it hard for defenses. Imagine Saquon and like Lamar speed, right? Like Jalen can move. Lamar flies. Like Saquon and Lamar, they might rush for 3,500.
What up, Wills?
What's going on, guys?
Sorry, Tom. I was just making that.
Fucking freezing out. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, well, do the poll. Will,
dude drops a pick six. Watch this. Dude drops a pick six.
Almost amazing play.
I'm a big
fan
of that drop.
Van Gank. Who is this dude? He's been all over the field.
Well, to the poll.
That's the guy from the Dolphins.
You're confident the Eagles will defeat the Packers in the wild card round. Do you agree or disagree?
I agree.
I'm confident Willie coming in. All right. Good to have you.
We're going to beat the Packers. I mean, it's probably going to be a tight game just because they're a pretty good team. But we were going to see a good team. We knew this. That's why it was crucial that we rested players. I'm happy that we did. I'm ready for us to go win a football game.
Yeah. I think the one thing you can say about all this is this week off for your linemen, especially, and for your running back, who we don't realize the type of wear and tear that is just with the hits. That week off for those guys in the trenches, your running back, and even skill position guys to a point, right? But just the breathers. Just that breather is so important. It just is. When you got the extra game in the year like you do, right? They already played. And if they didn't have a week 5 bye, I wouldn't be the big advocate of the bye right now. That's why I never ran from the fact that I've been saying since week 7 that I was looking at this week as a bye. We just so happened could have went for a rushing record, right? And I wasn't going to run from the fact of like, use it the right way here. Don't be stupid. Don't be stupid in terms of go get somebody hurt, chasing an individual award in a team sport. That's bad karma too, as much as we want a guy to get that record. But it's smart to get the breather, man. I want a fresh Saquon Barkley. I don't need a guy taking 30-plus hits this past weekend, and then he's got to go again Sunday, and now he's playing in his 18th game of the year already, and the next bye you would get is before the Super Bowl? No. You need a breather beforehand. Get guys fully healthy. You're a Landon Dickerson rolled ankle away from being a first-round exit possibly, and you sure as hell are a Lane Johnson ankle away from a first-round exit. That's factual. That's his impact, and we know that. That's not even me making something up. That's how good he is when he plays. So
I have a question.
I'm good with it. Well, sorry to go on the rampage there and the tangent, but I've never been more good with something in my life, and I'm a guy that's not I don't consider myself a pussy, right? Like I go, where's your man card, Tom? Oh, where's your sack? You got no balls. This is a man sport. Yeah, I know it is, and I like healthy men. You understand? Healthy men beat up on injured men. That's how that works.
Clip that.
Tom likes healthy men.
I mean, the only guy.
One clip. Tom likes healthy men.
The only guy that you should feel upset is Saquon, because everybody, like, we live in a world, it's a team sport, but like you said, everybody likes to have some individual accolades. That's the only guy I feel bad about. I don't want to hear about his dad, his family wanted. Who cares? All right, knock it the hell off. You understand? And I dare you, and the linemen, that's cool. I'm sure they would like that. I dare you to name one Los Angeles Ram lineman from 1982. or whatever it was. Whatever the hell Dickerson did it. You can't and you won't, right? Because nobody remembers the lineman, right? It's his award. It ain't Fanboy's award when they run around the tailgating with the jersey on and they want to have fun with it, right? It's his award. That's it. So the fact that everybody was outraged, it was comical.
Well, in
comical.
case you missed it,
I mean, you would like to see the guy get it. That's it.
2K is a great accomplishment.
Absolutely.
And they proved that point by when he got 2K, he came out of the game. So if he didn't come out of the game at 2K, that would have told you maybe he could have rushed for another 40 yards and been 60 yards away or 50 yards away. But they weren't going to do it. They already made up their mind that 2K gets you to Canton. It gets your cleats to Canton. It gets your jersey to Canton. It gets all those things. You get your own little box without even getting up to the Hall of Fame with the jacket yet. You just get your own little. Yeah, there
was just too many other dominoes. It wasn't just him. That's what they want to let Barkley run. Okay, but then the linemen have to play. You're not running behind backup linemen. You're not running behind backup linemen.
No,
it's not going to happen. So
I mean, you got to play everybody. If you're going to do that, you got to play everybody because then the Giants are going to stack the box. Got to have the receivers play.
Remember when AJ got hurt?
They can't stack the box. It's a whole thing.
Remember when AJ got hurt last year?
Yeah, didn't play the playoffs.
Yeah, when it was so important to play. It was so important. Don't how dare you? You got to go and play your best football. Oh my God. And then back. Now, how are you going to play your best football without your best player? Little hard to do. In this
I'll
league.
tell you, I don't like the Rams losing today because I've been saying it and I maintain it. The team I'm most afraid of is the fucking Bucks. I don't want to see them. They just got something on us. I think we should beat them, but I don't want to see them. Did Terry and Arnold get hurt?
Yeah.
Oh my Lord!
I don't want
Lions are dropping like flies.
I don't necessarily want to see him
his
either.
His own guy rolled him up.
But there isn't a team in the NFC, especially with this now new injury here. There isn't a team in the NFC that I'm the least bit concerned about. I'm just not. I'm not. I'm confident. If you brought the same poll question up every week, I'm going to answer it the same damn way, and I would have answered it the same damn way from the preseason to right now. The Lions were the team. The Lions were the team I'm most afraid of, per se, because where you would have to play them at, which would be possibly there if they win this game. But with the amount of injuries that they keep happening on their defense, at some point you can't overcome it.
Yeah, that's
how good
they're still playing well.
I would only beg to differ that you wouldn't say it from the preseason to now because
that was
they're completely banged up. They're completely banged up, and you didn't know the Eagles' defense was going to be this good. No fucking way. Nobody.
I didn't. I'm saying that I said the only team that I put in the conversation that I was scared of, that I would be scared of in week 1 was the Detroit Lions. But that has changed because of their injuries. That's why I'm not scared of anybody now. There was only one team in the NFC that I was really worried about when it came to the postseason, and that was the Lions. From week 1 to now, and throughout the year, they've slowly dropped off of that pedestal, not because they haven't won games, because you can't overcome losing your best players on one side of the football week in, week out. And this was just like, to me, the last shoe that dropped, which leads me that if this poll came up every week, right now, I would say I'm confident. The only thing that if I went to Detroit, I'd be a little shaky. I wouldn't be like, oh yeah, 75% confident that I'm winning because I'm playing in somebody else's ballpark per se, right? So I'd probably be more like 55, 60, but I'll still be higher on the confidence scale than not. And that's including the Bucks. The only Bucks problem I have, Wills, is PTSD. Right?
Yeah,
I have Rondi. I have deeper things. Yeah, I have deeper thoughts with that.
Yeah. But that's going to be home, right?
Rondé.
That's going to be home. It's not going to be in Tampa.
That was the closing of the video.
Yeah, I mean, I know where it'd be. I just don't want to play him.
Yeah, I ain't scared of no ghost.
I'm not, like I said, I'm not scared of anybody. Doesn't mean we can't lose. I'm not playing.
We can lose.
By the way, we go back to Tampa again next year.
We could lose the Packers easy.
We go back to the scene of the crime next year again. Our only real loss this year. I mean, not real, but the only time we got beaten down this year.
Yeah. My question was going to be, I don't know if you guys talked about it yet.
Who are you scared of, though? Like, really, who wouldn't you be confident in playing right now?
No,
I told you,
I mean, going to Detroit would be the toughest test.
Yeah, right?
I'm just saying the Bucks because we just don't play well against them. That's all.
We have a history.
That's the only reason.
For sure.
We should beat them.
I'm just making sure I'm not going crazy because I just think we're that good.
No,
And,
no. I mean,
and no,
we'll
Sweeps,
be favored against
nobody,
any team
Sweeps,
except
nobody thought,
There's plenty of times over the years I've called you Homer, and I love to call you Homer right now. I've told they're the best team in football. That's it, period. So you can look at it like, stop jinxing us, don't do that. They're the best team in football. That's it. Right now,
standard.
you got to beat the Chiefs in order to fucking get to your thing. I mean, you got to get through the NFC. There's a lot of roads left. I'm just saying,
Favorite
they're the best
pastime,
team in
call
football.
me a
That's
Homer.
it. You know what I mean? So the best team, they're the best team in football. That's not putting the horns on them.
We should put that on a t-shirt.
Period.
We should put that on a t-shirt. Sweeps' his favorite pastime, call him a Homer.
They love to right here. They love to right here.
Like week one, nobody thought this defense was going to be this good.
No.
It's the best. They've given up the least amount.
It wasn't this good until after the bye, really.
I mean,
it was the insertion of Cooper DeJean.
Basically, yeah.
They went back to
the emergence of our linebackers.
Well, that's a big one too.
Yeah, Bond.
Yeah,
Bond
and Dean and Cooper all played great.
I want them to mess around and give him the defensive player of the year. I would love that to happen. I don't think they will.
I don't.
Yeah, they're not going to.
I'm good.
But go ahead and mess around and give that to him.
I'm good with a guy making $600K or whatever, not getting that this year because then there's no way I'm getting them back. So you can root for the award. I'm going to root for you not getting the award and me not maybe having to overpay.
Yeah, I don't care about any awards. I'll be honest with you. Win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I care about awards. A guy locked up for 5 years and he wins at year one. Like, cool. Yeah, you know what I mean? But I'm right with you, Wells. I don't dive in as a fan at the end of the year.
I mean, Saquon's going to win Offensive Player of the Year.
No, I care about what award, the last award of the year, and that's who's hoisting the Lombardi. It's the only goddamn award, and we've only had it once. And I would love to lick it twice. All right, how many licks a lollipop? Let's get a couple more licks.
That part too.
This much maligned defense showed up tonight, man. Oof.
Yeah, they have out. They keep losing guys, but they got good. They got great coaching.
I mean, they got Anzalone back.
And they did get him back. You're right.
Speaking of Aaron Glenn, I heard a rumor he's going to the Saints. I heard it's essentially done. Yeah. I don't know how true it is, but that's what I heard.
That's who they wanted to go after on the staff. Okay.
I mean, that's not I think that's a
no. I like Aaron Glenn. I think Detroit's going to get killed by this next year. But
I mean, the biggest coach that will be signed after the season will be Ben Johnson for sure. Someone's going to hire Ben Johnson. Who is it going to be?
Yeah, he's starting to pull some. Well, at least with the Bears, he said like
I was going to say
you got to get rid of GM. No, well, he said you got to get rid of Ryan Poles. So Ryan Poles is like, yeah, I'm not interviewing this guy. this guy legit said I want to bring my own GM in. This guy wants to bring his own GM in. It's incredible.
Well, Poles is a fucking squid, so it's not a bad move on Ben Johnson.
No, it's not.
How about the Colts saying they're going to keep Chris Ballard? What
I was going to say, speaking of squids,
He'll stink again. Chris Ballard, every team in the division has won it since Chris Ballard's been the GM. Every team in the division has won it at least twice. The Colts are the only team not to win the division
at all.
How is he still GM?
Did you see that contraption Irsay came out of the locker or the tunnel with?
Pill Popper MD has no idea.
It was like it was a strange. Who lost?
No, I said he's lost.
Oh yeah. It was like a weird like remote control seat type of. I'd never seen something like it before. I'll have to find it again and send it to you guys.
Was it like a car?
No, it was almost just like a very basic like wheelchair type of thing, but didn't look like a wheelchair. Like all the wheels were on the bottom type of like a cart almost, right? You know what I mean? As opposed to like a normal looking wheelchair.
Yeah, with the big wheels. Yeah. On the back. Okay. I don't know. I didn't send it because I didn't see it.
He's a billionaire. So
the question I wanted to ask you guys though, before I forget, is has Hurts passed concussion protocol?
No,
not yet.
But I mean, that
needs to fucking happen.
But I think he already has.
He wasn't walked through yesterday.
I'm saying they're not.
I think they left it open.
Do any working out until he passes, so he better pass. Like
tomorrow. Yeah, but I think I think that they left him on there because they kept the extra roster spot. That's probably why they left him on there. That's my guess. Like, if you want me to like really wonder why he's still on this long, Like,
no, I hear. I mean, that's fine. That's
hoping.
Gonna be fine
And
and well.
no
I'm just saying, but he's not allowed to practice until he passes concussion protocol. So he needs to pass tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, tomorrow we're going to find out.
Yeah.
That's what we said. We think the line should change once he clears it tomorrow. And if he doesn't clear it tomorrow, then Houston.
we might be big trouble in Little China if he doesn't clear it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Great movie, by the way.
But I think my point. I think.
But before you came on, Wells, I still think, listen, it's not ideal, and it's not a shot at the dude, but I still think they're a better football team if he can't go. It's not a shot at him. I think the kid showed you enough in the next 2 weeks to manage. You can manage a game with everything else they have going. He can get it done at home.
I'm not sure. I can't go there. I'm not there. I can't have Tanner McKee playing against the
Mormon missile.
And if you're saying two gloves, Kenny, then shoot me.
No, I'm not saying him at all. I said the kid played well the last 2 weeks.
Oh, no,
albeit it was the Cowboys and the Giants. I know they're horseshit. I'm just saying, kid slung it a little bit. I think he can manage. If possible. I'm not calling for a quarterback.
I think he's gonna be good.
You know what I mean? I think he's okay. I'm not. There's no anointing. I'm just saying. I think they have a serviceable backup, and they're good enough everywhere else. What a blowout this is.
Gibbs
good enough.
So good, dude.
Gibbs is fucking Jesus.
Wow. Did you get another?
No, but he went for like
40 yarder.
Can I get a JMO, please? But don't worry,
that's
Miller's not scoring, so it doesn't matter.
The only, I guess you guys dug into the game more. The only thing that has me nervous about this game, first off, Jordan Love can be banged up. Love that.
Yeah.
He is
love a cupcake.
Yeah, give me Malik Willis on a fucking platter, please.
Yeah,
love it.
I don't care how I get there.
I'll take seconds, please.
Yeah, some people care how they get there. I don't care.
No, not at all. Are you kidding me?
Do not care.
I don't care. Everyone can get hurt on the other team. I don't care at all.
Yeah, I don't care.
They don't say, oh, you guys remember that Malik Willis played in the first. No one gives a fuck. When you're on broad, no one cares.
Nobody cares. Nobody cares. You're right.
But I would if Hurts doesn't pass concussion protocol, that's where I might get a little nervous. But
he has.
Also, my only fear in this game, I think we should handle them. I think we should play good defense against them. We stop the run. That's what they want to do. They want to run Josh Jacobs. If we stop the run, we should be fine. Obviously, Jalen hasn't played in a while. And our biggest issue all year has been starting slow. So can we not do that? That's my one issue, maybe, I'd say. Besides that, I think we should handle that.
Yeah, starting slow has been an issue. For sure.
It's been an issue, and now he hasn't played for 20 days. So,
but yeah, that doesn't worry me as much when you're a veteran. No, it worries me as much when you're younger, for sure.
It worries me that he always starts slow, and now he hasn't played for 3 weeks.
Yeah, well, you got a running back for a reason. So
no, listen, hand the ball off. I totally agree with your under 25 passing attempt thing. I think we've been pretty dead on about that. I think if he throws the ball about 20 times, I bet you we won the game.
I think we won 10 in a row by doing it. So I don't think it's some magic formula either. Yeah. It's just when you run the ball at this kind of clip, it's not hard. And you're playing this great defense. It's like, okay, 101, just stop it in.
And obviously the way to beat the Packers is to run on them.
The way to beat a lot of teams, right?
Well, yeah, but Packers in general, though, they have a good pass defense.
Yeah, not as good as they
not
did.
As used to be, yeah. But
week one, they're not as good as they. But I said Wills, too. If you look at both teams,
been out, yeah.
Who's better since week one? We are, right? Like if any team's gotten better, and we beat them already. So if you look at all right, we beat you in goddamn a different country, and we've gotten better since, and you've been about the same, which is fair for them.
I feel like the guy that killed us was their slot dude, Reed.
Yeah, that's what
and we'll have Cooper on him. So I like that.
It ain't Avonte Maddox, Habib. You know what I mean? Yeah. Avonte ain't running around Brazil like a chicken with his head cut off.
But like I said, we've seen everything that they're potentially going to do with Jaden Reed, right? He came on a jet sweep. He came on he's done. And then whatever we haven't seen, there's on tape.
The laundry.
Right? They're like Dan Campbell throwing out trick plays all the time, right? Just letting everybody know what they're doing.
I don't understand I've been seeing a lot of quarterbacks do what Goff just did there, where they just run out of bounds 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Throw the ball away.
They probably. I don't think they can. If it was an RPO, they get a offensive line downfield.
Okay, well, that could be it. Well, just fucking make them throw the flag then, at least. You got to throw it. You can't take five-yard losses by running out of bounds. That's ridiculous.
No, it's stupid, but I think more or less in those situations they can't do that because they have linemen downfield because it was
but that's a 5-yard penalty and a replay of down though. So you would lose the same amount of yards and you have one less down. So throw the fucking ball away.
And they should be. I mean, I know what you're saying. An interesting theory, but the actual definition of a run RPO is a run pass option. What the fuck are they doing downfield? You know what I mean?
Well,
no, yeah.
We see it all the time because we get called for it all the time.
Yeah,
it's the Lions. They probably won't get called for it.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, imagine being like in a game this fast and knowing that you have guys downfield. Like you're running out of pocket and you're fighting off guys that are 280 pounds running 4.5s at you at this kind of speed, and you got the kind of wherewithal to be like, yeah, guys are probably downfield.
Yep, I can't throw it here.
Yeah, let me just run this out of bounds. Like, holy shit, good for you.
Yeah,
you're that smart. I just think he doesn't want to get killed and he's just trying to get out of bounds.
Yeah, you're probably right.
I think we're diving way too deep into this. This is Jared Goff doesn't want to get killed. A lot of these quarterbacks don't want to get killed. Let me just get out of bounds here. I'm not even worried about throwing it away and somebody smoking me while I'm trying to throw it away. Right?
What do you think they were going to do? I love when guys jump off sides. Like, what do you think they were going to do? You know, you think they were going to snap it? I mean, obviously Dan Campbell's a nutcase. I love him. But
I was going to say they probably were going to snap it.
Yeah, the Giants did that a couple times today. Like, thank you. Like, well, yeah, what are you doing? You think Tanner McKee? You think we're really running the push with Tanner McKee on our 30-yard line? But we'll take it. Thank you.
I'll tell you what. Vikings start 14-2. They better be careful because that Rams team with Stafford in LA, that's a tough game. That's a real tough game. That could be two quick losses and see ya, and Gibbs scores again. You got to be shitting me. Dude.
No. Because that's 4 on the night.
With a real Sam Darnold, please stand
Sam Brown just put a crown on his head.
This is what happens. This is what happens with guys that are just, that are just aren't the guy.
It's cute.
Like, yeah, Sam Darnold, great year, cool story. Biggest game of the season. He's right back to New York.
Apple boy, absolutely. Against this defense, that's what I'm saying.
Here we go.
Like everybody has like you said, everybody can play a bad game. You know what I mean? So it's not like we're just trying to kill the guy right now. But like you said, biggest game of the year for all the marbles, and they got 9 points against a much maligned defense that's so banged up. Oh my God, this is beautiful.
We're crushing Jalen Hurts.
What's up, Donnie?
Right. If Jalen goes to Detroit and we put up 9 and we're getting beat 31-9.
He doesn't make it back to Philly.
No, we're smoking him. Right. So, nobody gets off the hook. But this guy has a track record of coming up small and not living up to the hype. And he's got great guys to throw the football too. And he's done a great job this year. More than anybody would ever expected him to do.
Oh, yeah. You could tell in the first 8 minutes how this was going to go. He missed 10 open wide. Got 10 bad throws in the first 5 minutes.
Oh, yeah. The red zone.
They were inside the 5 3
times. The only part I saw of the game was the very
first drive. They were inside the 5 3 times.
Maybe second, maybe first 2 drives.
Yep.
He was high with everything early on.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, Pete, I don't think we just win Sunday. I think we win the next weekend as well. And you can pretty much bow tie this bitch right into the NFC title game. Just bow tie me up here. Put her on me. Anything less is a failure. So
I asked you that question.
You have 2
we
home
should be playing in Detroit.
I asked you guys that question
3 weeks.
a month and a half
2 weeks. 3 weeks.
Yeah, it was a month and a half ago. I asked you guys.
What do we say? What do we say? Sweeps? Like
No.
No.
I asked you guys that question a month and a half ago when they were really before they had all the injuries. I think Hutch might have just been out, but they were the upper tier, and the Eagles were, probably 5 games into their winning streak, so they were a notch below them, and then the Eagles went bananas. But at that time, when I asked you guys, hey, can you go into Detroit and win? And you guys were, of course you were going to say you could, you know what I mean? So shouldn't be scared. Absolutely.
And you got 2 reasons well, first off, Brian, stop. We're not beating the Bucks, okay? Because you're just talking about Jalen Hurts. You're not talking about this running game. You're not talking about this defense. There's a lot of really good stuff we're rolling out there.
There's a good chance we don't even see the Bucks.
Pump's on a bender tonight.
Yeah, well, he's.
I know. Pump's usually on the negative side, but he's extra spicy.
Well, he's anti.
Washington
Listen,
might beat the Bucks.
There's a couple sides. There's a couple sides when you talk about Jalen Hurts. All right.
Right.
There's the side of the fanboy, which we know a lot of them, right? And
Extreme
then
haters.
and
Extreme
then there's
haters.
guys that I call like ourselves
Extremists.
that are right in the
No,
middle.
not us. No, yeah, not
Yeah,
us.
we're right in the middle. There's guys like ourselves. We call it how we see it week to week. And then there's the absolute haters. and that's like Brian Pumper. Like there's nothing. Jail could go throw for 350. And Brian would not give him any credit for it.
Yeah.
He would give us 5 super chats and we would appreciate every one of them. And they would be slandering him in some way. So yeah. I get it. Listen, I like Todd Bowles, and he's been Jalen's kryptonite, but Jalen hasn't played with A.J. Brown in those games. He hasn't played Devontae Smith in those games. So you got to factor those things into it. That doesn't mean like he shouldn't have won those games or been able to do more in those games. But if you're missing those kinds of cats, like, listen, it ain't that. I'm not going to say he has his number.
Yeah, let's go. Yeah, you're right, Tommy, though. We could go back.
He can get his number
early
real
in
quick,
the year.
but we don't
We
have
had
it yet.
nobody
What's
playing.
name definitely has his number, but that doesn't mean it can't change.
Well, listen, you know what?
Well, early in the year, we had nobody playing, right? Everybody was hurt. Last year, the playoffs, A.J. Brown wasn't there. Last year, when they had the full team, they came down here on a Monday night and won.
And we smoked them.
And I was there. So
It's been.
we just keep going back to Jalen's first playoff game where he looked like an absolute wreck.
Deer in headlight. Yeah.
And there's no denying that. That's what happened.
Yeah.
But that's what we keep going back to. And I get it.
Well,
Right?
it happened again last year too. That's why it's in our heads.
But without A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown didn't play.
He still looked like shit, Greg. Couldn't do anything. But granted, we couldn't do anything offensively the last month of the season. So, but we couldn't do anything.
I think there's a lot of extenuating circumstances at the end of that year, right? I had a shit ton of future tickets that just worked against us. I didn't take them out this year on the team, and look where we're at. Thank you, Greg.
Thanks, Greg, again. See, listen,
Greg's
Brian, I know.
Greg is arm patting himself on the fucking back.
Tanner threw the ball good. Tanner is an absolute high-quality backup, it seems like, and can absolutely start and win you some games in this league.
Tanner got sacked 4 times today.
But can we
against shit defense?
Can we not get too carried away with it either? Yeah, he's going to go through his reads more. That's the kind of quarterback he is. He has to be that guy. You know what I mean?
Because he's not physically gifted.
Like they said on the broadcast, he needs to know where his check down is at all times.
Yeah.
Because his check down is not running. So there's just different styles of quarterback. I'm not telling you that I like one more than the other, but like we won 14 fucking games this year. You know, we've proven that we're the best team in football, or at least in the NFC East. Okay, in the NFC East, we're the best team, or the NFC, we're the best team in the NFC.
And he was only sacked twice. Greg got
Technically second best.
Was it only 2?
But yeah,
second best. I know technically second best, but the way I look
I
at
just
it,
didn't want someone to be like, "Well, we're the 2 seed." Well, we get it. We're technically second best.
Yeah, we're second best in the NFC, and we're complaining about the quarterback. Like that's where I draw the line. Like is he perfect? No, I'll be the first to call it out with the things I see. But he wins games. How many times we have to say that? We've been saying it for 3 years now.
Yeah.
Like I don't know how much more we have to. Like we ask guys to prove something, and he's proven one thing: he wins games. We know how talented the roster is. Nobody's saying it isn't talented, right? He's also won games with a roster not as talented. So he's done both. Has he always had a lot of talent around him offensively? Yes, he has. He had the luxury of having that. You know, if more quarterbacks did, they'd probably have more success early on, right? But I'm not going to take it. I'm not going to take it away from him either.
Yeah,
you still got to play at a high level, no matter who's around you. You still got to distribute. You still got to make the right decisions. You still got to throw the football. It's not just about like, oh, you're playing with the greatest guys ever, so any Joe Schmo can go out there and be elite with this offense. It doesn't work that way. Like, you know, so that's where I just like stop these guys that are like so anti-Jalen. Is like, pump your brakes, man. We just want winners. right? And we know it's like a quarterback is judged off of the biggest thing a quarterback will ever be judged off of, even though it's not fair at times, is wins and losses. You'll go to Canton off your wins and losses. You understand this? Off your wins. You can go to Canton off of being a goddamn winner. Guys have in the past. So you go win 3 out of 5 Super Bowls or something like that, right? You're gonna find yourself there, no matter if your stats are great or not.
Eli Manning.
Yeah, Eli Manning's a Hall of Famer.
So I like this. The guy wins. Now, if he gets knocked out in the first round, he don't play well, then we'll revisit this conversation next week, won't we? Right? But coming into this week, and why we should be confident is our quarterback makes winning plays all this year. If you want to go back to no matter how he's played in the first quarter, second quarter, when we needed drives, when we absolutely needed drives, he delivered. So we can say whatever we want about him, and I got things I can say, sure, and we all do. But when in money time, he's delivered, man. He's delivered, and his win losses prove that.
Yeah, I agree.
What else do you fucking want, dude? I would love the guy that looks the part and throws at 150 miles an hour. Sure, I get it. But that guy might not be the answer of winning games all the time, too, though.
Yeah, I mean, you can't punish the guy for being in a great situation. You know what I mean? That's just, and that's the bottom line. So the people want to take that stance. It's outrageous, too, because you don't know, if somebody else is in there, how they're going to fare either. You know what I mean? Like, he's the guy, that's running this team. And so you can't punish the guy because the Eagles are talented. I mean, that's not fair. So he's done a great job in his tenure. So,
and Brian, I blame him for that. I blame him for that Super Bowl where people say that he did everything he could. He did. He was awesome. Besides giving up a touchdown the other way, which again was the difference in the game.
Yeah.
So but he wins, Brian. He still has to get there. If he got there again and the same thing happened again, I would still want him back. Right? I would still want to be like, you know what? I want this guy to go. I want to run back with this guy.
Sure.
Right? If I go lose to the Chiefs, I want him again to go against him again. Because guess what? I'm there. And we forget that. You forget that when you're like one of the last 2 teams standing or the last 4 standing. Like you're playing deep. You're playing deep. You're accomplishing something right there.
All you can ask for is an opportunity, right? So you got to get in the tournament.
Wells, remember?
You got to get in the tournament.
We wanted an opportunity.
Seat at the table.
You get in the tournament. Anything can happen, all right? And this team is this is a great organization. So there shouldn't be any complaints. But when you're talking about you got to win championships, like at that position. You know what I mean? Like everybody wants to win. The whole organization wants to win. But there's a guy down the beltway that until he ever gets it done. You know what I mean? No, I'm just saying he'll never be in the top 5. He'll never be in the top 5. You know what I mean? That has nothing to do with me. You know what I mean? Like he'll never be in the top 5 unless you hoist that position. I don't care how talented you are and with all the numbers you put up. If at that position you don't hoist, sorry. You know what I mean? The same thing happened to Marino. Come on. There ain't nobody better than, not nobody. I mean, these guys, the position has changed since 1984. But in that prime, in that 20-year window, there wasn't many guys, if any, that could sling it like Dan. But Dan ain't even in the top 5 when people talk about quarterbacks, which is sad. You know what I mean? He never won. Never won.
Hoist it. Yep. And that's what it comes down to. We judge it off of. We judge our quarterbacks off of that if we like it or not.
Big boy running with the ball.
If they like it or not. SJM says, what up, fam? Another good Sunday, beating up a terrible division foe. Wills, how'd you make out with your whole Deuce Bigelow business? And that's what I was laughing at.
And I've been avoiding like the plague. I have no I've cut off contact.
He's applied to FedEx, and
no, but I do. I think they might be over there too, though. I do start in PA tomorrow, which is going to be great.
They'll be greeting you at the door.
Snow.
They'll be greeting you at the door. Josh Fitch.
Absolutely. You got to get it done. Josh agreed.
Yeah, we're 100% on both sides of the ball.
No excuse.
Better. It's up to us to capitalize and play good ball. Yeah, I mean, the better team doesn't always win because the better team doesn't always come prepared. And the better team doesn't always do the little things. And the better team doesn't always take care of the football or take the football away. And they're the two things that have been a staple for our success. One is not turning the football over, and two is taking the football away. And
Yeah, defend home field.
Yeah.
And also let's give credit to Nick too. Since the bye week, we have been prepared to play. Right?
Oh,
we have
no
been
question
ready to
about
go.
it, yeah.
We have been locked in. I mean, you think of today, all the backups we had in there, I think we only had one penalty. Like, those guys were ready to go, and then they were prepared. So we got to give Nick credit on that. I know we love to trash him, because of his antics, but we got to give him credit, just like Jalen. All that dude does is win.
Well, him and Howie deserve a lot of credit because look at the roster.
Yeah.
I mean, you just went and beat a team in your division that's playing their starters, and you beat them with all your backups, or 95% of your backups, right? So you go do something like that. That just shows how well you're drafting and the type of culture you have in-house here. Not saying that those guys would, but it just shows you can go win 4 games with your backups.
Yeah.
Right? You could be better than the Giants with your backups, maybe. And that just goes to show you that your third string quarterback is better than their guy they got running out there right now, too, which is probably better than all 3 of their quarterbacks they played throughout this year. To be honest with you, that just shows you how much better, how important that position is, right?
Bro,
Like
I'll give 2.
Eagles, right? Some things going into this football game. Obviously, first in yards against. We talked about that. First time since 1991 that we were first in yards against, and we're giving up 4.7 yards on average.
91 was like one of the greatest defensive of all time.
Yeah, of all time. And rush average were 9th, and that goes back to that conversation, right? Hey, where can we get hurt at? That's the place. That's allowing Josh
And that's
Jacobs
what Green
to
Bay
keep
does.
going.
That's what you got to stop them.
This is what worries you about this football game. If you had any worry and concern, it's Josh Jacobs getting
Them
going.
pounding Jacobs. Yep, I agree.
Now you go on
It's
the other
us starting
side.
slow and then pounding Jacobs. That's pretty much it. That's my only concern.
And you know what we do offensively.
And
right?
I would assume Love's going to play. I mean, he looked like he was going to come back in today.
He said he's going to play. They said
I would assume he's going to play.
Yeah.
But hey, being like we said, being banged up, that's fine.
Yeah, not a good recipe against this defense.
Now, granted, remember, I mean, you got, like you said, we were saying it already, you got to show up and you got to play. We're healthy, you got to play. They were in this game last year, went into Dallas and kicked their ass. So you got to play.
Well, let's keep something in mind.
Yeah, they were playing better though last year.
When you
They were on a roll last year.
well, hold on. Everybody hold the
I'm
phone.
saying it was a 7-2 game, right?
Sure.
Pretty sure.
I'm saying numbers don't necessarily numbers can lie sometimes, but they don't, right? So when you look at the Packers on defense, they're 5th in football on rush average per play. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Rush yards, they're giving up the sixth least amount of yards in the rushing game. All right. And points, they're giving up the 6th least amount of points in football. So when you look at those things now, where you can hurt them, and it says it real clear here, is in the passing game. 18th, 19th, ranked around there. Okay, so that worries me a little bit because that tells me we're going to come out and we're going to try to push the ball down the field early, and I could smell a 3 and out. Next thing you know, they control ball for 6-7 minutes. Josh Jacobs is running hard. We're down 7-0, and then we're fighting the uphill battle a little bit. But that's where they get exposed a little bit. And then offensively, we know what they are. Pass yards are 18th. So, like, we're similar in those aspects. And rush yards are 5th. They're 5th in football.
But let's also remember what we've just been talking about with a little bit earlier ago with our running game. We're not just a running back run option, right? Our quarterback can run the football too, right? And if you look at a lot of the teams, especially the teams in the NFC North, they're predominantly just running back centric, right? None of those QBs are a mobile threat to run, right? So while those numbers are all great and grand, the ability to have Jalen Hurts back there, potentially skews those numbers in our favor.
Yeah, I mean, he rushed for 630 yards, right? At 4.2 yards a clip. He's the reason that we're first in rush attempts because he has $150 to that. But our rush yards per game were second in football.
Yep.
And the big reason you jump to second in football is when your quarterback can run. I think the only team better would probably be Baltimore, is my guess. I don't know who's won,
and because they do the same thing.
They do the same
they're
thing.
the same thing.
Their quarterback's just slightly better at running than ours. That's all.
Now, like I said, our pass yards per game or on the season is 30th in football, which is actually crazy. But our pass attempts is last. So, like, we know our recipe here. We're playing for the explosive play downfield off of play action, right? They're the types of plays that we're looking for. Big explosive plays off of the RPO, right? They're the kind of things we're looking for offensively because it's proven by one, we asked for that, or at least I did. Hey, 20, 25 attempts a game, you're going to win a ton of fucking football games. Yeah. Now, can you get that down in the playoffs? I think you have the running back and the offensive line to do it.
Yes.
I believe you do. And I think
and
go ahead, Greg.
No, I was just saying continue out, right? The running back, offensive line, yes. And then we continue out, as we talked about, those other weapons that we have on the outside.
That Dallas is huge, getting Dallas back.
Yep, 100%.
Because he looked good for his time today, which is a great sign. And I know he'll get hurt soon, but maybe he'll just wait a couple weeks.
Yeah, he's a better blocker than Calcaterra for sure.
Oh, he'll up our running game out tremendously, and our passing game too, because he's one of Jalen's 3 targets. Yep. You know, Jalen goes down to 2 targets when he's not out of the game. When he's out of the game, he goes down to 2 targets. He doesn't even target anybody else. Like John Doxson showed he can play today, just because he's not targeted, rightfully so. But even when Goddard went out, that guy should get some more targets. That's because Jalen just doesn't. He's just going to take off. Yeah. Right. We know this by now. He's not going to go through 4 reads. And I'm not expecting him to change right now. Go play your style of football, which has won a ton of football games here, and allow your defense to be them, which is don't put them in bad spots. And that starts with turnovers, and then it finishes off with you got to sustain drives. You absolutely have to sustain drives. What, Dylan? Dude, make sure you just tell that guy to go run in traffic. So he just had an Eagles fan tell him he's a Birds and a Lions fan. That's new. It's
maybe like Zeus.
Like I just never understood the double team. Like you can't have teams at equal playing fields here. You can root for some teams. Like you can be like, oh, I'm a fan of that team.
Usually it's the other conference too.
Yeah, and it's usually the other conference.
Like an AFC team.
But it doesn't necessarily have to. Like you can like have respect for an organization or a team, but I could never have like 5 different jerseys of football teams in my closet, and like where you're rotating them through wearing them. That's my point. Like, doesn't mean you don't collect jerseys. I get those people too, but I'm just saying, like, it wouldn't be like on a Sunday, like, oh, I'm pulling out my, whatever.
I don't even like people collecting jerseys.
Yeah, I'm pulling out my Deebo Samuel.
You won't collect jerseys. You collect Eagles jerseys.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there, but yeah, Dylan, I probably wouldn't talk sports with that guy.
He wouldn't turn your back on that guy too.
No, a couple things. Yeah, obviously not loyal, so be careful.
Steal your wallet.
Jose says Love's going to turn it over at least once.
Yes, I agree.
I hope so.
I hope so.
This defense should come out refreshed.
And maybe CJ doesn't steal it from Q again.
He's stolen 2 or 3 from him this year.
Yeah.
Fucking steal another. I don't care. Just pick it off.
Yeah.
T-shirts.
Maybe Q can't catch.
T-shirts would be outrageous had he caught them 3. T-shirt sales would be through the roof.
Oh, that's Deion Sanders 2.0. You know what I mean?
Oh, my God.
You might as well high stepping right now in this city.
God. Guantanamo Bay. Oh, Jesus crackers.
By the way, Guantanamo Bay, if it ever can turn into that officially, is a great nickname. If it can stick. Like I'm gonna need another year of playing at a high level, and then we can start having you come to the Bay. Come to Guantanamo. But I'm gonna need more than what. Listen, at the end of the day, he had a great rookie year.
Teddy Bridge.
But people acting like he can never get beat is laughable because the whole league can get beat. So he's not an exception to like Patrick Surtain, right? He's who I consider the best cornerback in football. He's not an exception to him. Like that guy gets beat, So will the Bay. The Bay's going to get beat too.
I mean, it's the game is set up for the offense to succeed.
I mean, it was weird. Teams didn't attack them.
Yeah, that's all I said.
Yeah, that was strange.
That was only my point. And Will said,
well, I always said, like, I wonder what they know.
Yes, they are.
I wonder what they know.
That was my point. My point was, hey, listen, he's very good, but to not try a guy is comical.
Because did he have a lot of interceptions?
And I just think guys forget. And I just think guys forget.
I hate to do this to you. Can we get a Google? Did he have a lot of picks at Toledo? Like,
well, I think, but
I know it's Toledo, but I just need to know if a guy was a ball hawk or not. Like coming into it. I didn't think so either, Wells, but I'm just
I think he was just a good cover guy.
I'm just a curious kid.
I could be wrong.
But you had those three. That locks up the defensive rookie of the year. If you had those three.
Another award I don't care about, Greg.
It's fine. You don't have to care about it. But they all get
you
bonuses
clearly
over
do.
it. They all get bonuses over it. He had 5. He had 6 total. All in his last 2 years. All his sophomore and junior year.
So not really a ball hawk.
We had 5 in 1 year.
Not bad, but
he had 5 his sophomore year.
So he had a good sophomore year.
Hawkish
sophomore year.
And then won two tutties in that 2 tutties in that sophomore year.
Okay. I mean,
but for Nealon? It's curious.
It still doesn't make me not throw his way and test him.
No, for sure.
I mean, Green Bay did with week 1, and he held serve week 1. And then it seemed like after week 1, there was just like 16 weeks of tape of like, don't do that. Yeah. It was like 1 week in Brazil.
That's where I was. And that's my only point was, listen, the kid's very good, but it was just strange that nobody was going to answer. And then when they did, people would forget. You know what I mean? Like that last Rams drive, albeit a blowout. He's 4 passes got called on him, including the touchdown by Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, nobody
wanted to talk about that. I mean,
it's like nobody wants to pitch inside, but
I feel like people started throwing out after that.
Say the same things in baseball. Hey, people don't want to pitch inside, but I do. Just because everybody else doesn't want to pitch inside doesn't mean I don't.
Absolutely.
So it's the same fun concept.
Agreed.
Yeah,
All right, so Detroit 1 seed.
I hate you got it, Don.
Congrats, Don.
Don, I tell you, there's not many guys in the business better in the first 2 rounds for everybody's team. You know what I mean? Not just Tommy, Tommy's homer teams, right? Just like in general.
Did you just call yourself not many guys better in the business in the first 2 rounds about yourself?
Just saying that doesn't do any scouting besides watching the games. I don't think many guys have a better hit rate. And there's plenty of misses. That's the nature of the business. But for no scouting, there's 0 scouting. I have no inside knowledge of any player. I didn't do a fucking Wonderlic. I didn't do a goddamn sit down. I don't know if he went. I didn't know if his friends came to his birthday or not, Wills. I don't have all those answers. I don't know. I just watch the games of football like we all do.
You're trying to take credit for Gibbs being a stud?
No, I'm just saying.
Alabama?
Well, on the show, on that specific draft night, there was people on this airway that were debating me on that.
President company. Yeah, good memory by Dom. I mean, Don, love you, buddy. Yeah,
Don knows he's a truther.
I didn't realize we were taking credit for.
He's a truther.
He's a truth cat. Yep.
Tommy adopted
wasn't a 4th rounder. Wasn't a 4th rounder.
No. That's why. But I think what Don's trying to say is that what he's saying is Tom Ornone, even if guys are projected in the first 2 rounds, he usually doesn't miss on those guys. That's all he's saying.
I will say, I'm not sure he said all that, but I will
in those 6 words, I got that too. All right, cool.
Put a lot of words
that's what I took
right now.
That's what I took from it, Don, right, Don?
He loves a healthy guy, Don. You know that.
He does love a healthy guy.
Like Alabama guys too.
Not anymore. Not as much. Times have changed. You know what I mean? Times have been changing. With no Nick. Yeah, with no Nick, it's with no Nick, it's not the same. I'm not getting the same player. So we gotta change tide.
Tide's changing.
Do you like that, Wills?
Tide's changing.
You know what I mean?
Tom,
I feel like
You got to tell your guy, Tom. I mean, even the Lord's having a delay. Chick-fil-A delayed opening, 11 a.m. tomorrow.
Oh my God.
What?
Unreal.
I'm not gonna get my chicken mini.
I mean, chicken don't close. Chicken don't close for shit.
No, only on
Besides
Sunday.
the Lord. Yep.
Lord's Day.
You know it's bad when Chick-fil-A is closing. Holy shit!
He called down. And
Chick-fil-A,
said,
big God guy.
Yeah.
Umberto, I agree with you. You know what this city needs, Umberto? What we need is we need it.
More cowbell.
Oh, hold on. I say, yeah. You better calm your life down with that. I was a Mariota guy though. Absolutely was wrong on the wine. Was wrong.
Most Hawaiians are. We are wrong on.
Yeah, I was completely wrong about Mariota.
Say, Tom was definitely not a regular guy, and as soon as Jefferson went second, I'm pretty sure he was like, "That's the guy we should have taken." So.
Yep. Well, I got argued with because I said about Justin Jefferson. I don't care what fucking conference. I don't care if you play in any conference. But in the SEC even more. I don't care if you're in the slot. I don't care if you're on the sideline. I don't care if you're on the outside. If you catch 100 balls in that conference, you're the best wide receiver in the draft. I don't care what your metrics are. I don't give a fuck about the rest. And here we are with another. Hey, can I puff my chest on Jefferson too? I'm not going to, even though I said I just did. But some shit's easy. But my point is, Will, my whole puff of this
that's like
is
saying Jamar Chase is gonna be good.
No. The whole point of it,
Jamar Chase might be good.
If you guys allow me, the minute here to finish this off,
we'll allow you.
I'm gonna put a bow on this.
Obviously, the floor is yours.
Yeah,
bow it up.
Yeah, it is.
Bow it up.
The bow tied up here is that what I'm saying is when it's not that hard. So what I'm doing here isn't that hard. If more GMs thought like we did as football guys, right? If more GMs just like, hey, common sense, there'll be a lot more hits. That's all my point is. I'm not crowning myself. I'm saying this shit's easy. But these guys overthink it all. They want to get in what they did in the shorts and the t-shirt, right? All the extra shit. I said, what they show you on game day? What they show you that? Because that's all that's going to matter at the next level is what they showed you that day. What they can do on Saturdays. That's the only thing that translates. Yes, being a great teammate, other things like that, they matter for sure, right? But the skill set itself, all I need to do is know what you did on Saturday to know if you can play or not. And that doesn't mean even guys that are common sense guys don't miss because we all do. But the miss rate's way lower than an average NFL general manager. That's my puff. That's my puff. It's like I do it from my fucking couch. I can do it from my couch with no inside information and give me $100K a year. I'm not asking for a lot. Let me prove my worth. You can put bonuses in for me too. All right. And when I get selected to 5 straight Pro Bowls, all right, for building your roster out like I did, okay, then we can really puff the bonuses. That's it. I'm done. Shit's easy.
No budget. Just rip away.
Shit's easy.
No, Chuck's wasn't not trying to pile on, but Chuck's was a regular guy for sure. He did not like Justin Jefferson. That aged extremely well.
Yep.
Yep.
I like.
You did some things.
Just go back to that LSU team though. Like, wow. Obviously, they were amazing. They're best 2 receivers in football and arguably the best quarterback.
Yeah, not in this city.
They were decent.
Yeah, but 3 guys that are decent. Yeah.
Not bad.
They don't make it.
They made Edwards-Helaire look awesome.
Right.
A lot of good GMs passed on those guys. That's all I'm saying.
Wayne the Pain. Point. What's up, Wayne?
Wayne the Pain.
Yeah, Wayne. I reached around twice.
Did you just reach?
You guys just got here.
Those hands.
Yeah, felt good. Felt good. I just flip one up the other end when we talked about Mariota though. I had to reach around the other way on that one. That wasn't as fun of a reach around. Okay.
A lot of. We can do a lot of cuts. Cut a lot of clips out of this one.
Some guys bring it.
That's another clip right there, by the way. Another one.
A lot of
throw all these together.
A lot of Brokeback shit.
Tom was a healthy guy. A lot of reach arounds. Some guys
love it. A lot of tense.
I was going to have here for her, but I didn't know if it was the right time. I'm really here for her.
A lot of 2-man tents are up. A lot of 2-man tents are being
Back
That's
on the
great.
slopes tonight. You're just joining us on A2D. We're going down the bunnies. We're doing the bunny trail.
Yeah. You failed to bring that up, Don. You wanted to bring up a lot of other stuff, Don. You forget. You didn't want to bring up the ski pulling.
Yeah, he knows where he was going. Yeah. Well, okay. So let's do this because you guys aren't going to be on Wednesday. So let's give early predictions.
I like it.
I mean, I'll start if you don't have.
I'll go.
Off the top of
You
your
want me
head.
to?
Okay.
I'll go.
No, love to have it. Yeah.
Go ahead.
27-16.
Oh, 85 bear me. Yeah, I'm in. Let's go.
I like it.
Let's fucking go. I said before though, if we hold teams under 20 to 21-20, we shouldn't lose a playoff game.
I agree.
So that's it. Our offense is too good. We shouldn't lose a playoff game. I'll stand by that. So defense, time's yours. I love that score.
Yeah, I'd be a big fan of it.
Sweeps, you want to go? Circle the
23-17 Birds.
Oh, another under 20. How are we?
And they cover the 5 that it will go off at.
Do I want to go there? 30-17.
I don't like going last.
We better get into the 20s.
I was just laughing at Billy Blue Balls.
Well, so you were 27-16, right?
Correct, yes.
34-20.
Let's go.
You gotta
It's
stick
gonna
to
age really well.
Sorry, 34-21. I'll go 34-21. Or light the scoreboard up. Let's fucking go. No Jair Alexander. There's no excuse not to be able to spin the football around. And let's go find the weakness and expose it. Let's come out and really make a statement on Sunday. I want a statement win. Just for the sake of you just going into the next round, right?
Yeah.
I want to be the big bad wolf. I want to be hunted. You understand? I'll take it. I'll take a field goal win too. I'll take a win by a safety. I don't care.
Yeah,
we can win
4-2.
Yeah, I don't give a shit. But I would like to also come out and just
look good.
Yes. Is that a lot? Me asking for a lot?
Just look good.
Yeah, I would love it. I would love another easy Sunday like this Sunday was. Like not easy quarter one. I get it. But when the score's over, you're like, you know what? I didn't feel like there was a point we were losing that football game. That's all I want.
Like Monday morning.
You know what I mean? And then I want week 2 to feel the same buzz. Because week 2 is going to have the same damn buzz. But I don't want to get there yet because it is the NFL. All right? It is the NFL. But yeah, either way, we all got great scores and we all got them under that 21 mark. 21 or under, which I think is going to be the recipe here. And I think a healthy Saquon Barkley is a big key to this, and a fresh one.
I look for him to go over a Hond.
And I think a little mad, because somebody said, "Oh, is he frustrated about the record?" I'm sure as a competitor, you always want it, right? But he also didn't come here for that. So knowing that, but I also think that he's going to run. He's going to run a little bit more violent too.
A little run angry. I'm okay with a little angry running.
Yeah, I'm fine. Oh, here he comes.
Rents too.
Don't ever call me a hater of Jalen Hurts. Where's Martian at? You know what I mean, where's some of my guys?
Where has Martian been? I haven't seen him in a minute.
No, Bill, he hasn't been good. We know that. Last week you were just talking about all his makes, how they were close.
Are we doing this again?
And then now you want to come
yes.
I love how I saw Bill's comment on Facebook earlier today when he was like, "Oh, we're back about Jake. You guys didn't want to talk about him last week." Well, he made every kick last week.
Yeah, that's
we can talk about him this week, Bill, because he missed a 32-yarder by 30 yards. So, am I a little nervous about Jake? Yeah, he hasn't had a very good year. He's missed a lot of kicks.
But he's also not kicking off anymore. I think that has a huge factor.
He kicked off today.
No, he didn't. It was Braden Mann again. They went back to Braden Mann, and Nick said it's gonna depend on the weather. Like whatever the hell that means. Why don't you depend on your kicker?
I mean, if he really does kick better when he's kicking off, then they should fucking know that.
You would think a guy that knows his team and knows his
Well,
locker room.
You would think the analytics would tell you something, babe. I know there's some analytically driven. Somebody can't spit that.
And I'm
number
not
out for
smart.
you.
I'm not smart at all. We know this.
A guy like doo-doo, and just spit that number out and just like walk it into your office.
Paid them.
Like that guy doesn't walk in your office and say, hey, Nick, we got some numbers in front of me here.
Yeah, what's Big Dom doing? Isn't that Big Dom's job?
No, you think Big Dom's a guy that's walking around gathering statistics?
Big Dom does everything apparently. I don't know.
I think he's just security. I don't think he does much, honestly. He goes and gets a football out of the stands if they need it. That's what he does.
No, usual suspect. I think Green Bay's going to come ready to play. I just think the better team's going to impose their will throughout this football game. And
I mean, they're a well-coached team. I expect them to be ready to play. They were ready to play last year in the playoffs. They're a well-coached team. I would assume we're going to get their best shot. They're not going to come in and fall flat on their face. I'll tell you that. They're going to be ready to play. They'll play well. We just got to match their intensity, and I think we're the better team.
Yeah,
our record shows it. So.
Yep, LaFleur's done a really good job.
Yeah, he's a good coach.
And it's funny because halfway through last year they wanted to get rid of him.
Yeah,
there was rumors. Isn't that always how it works out?
Yeah, he always goes. He's been a playoff guy. He's pretty much his whole career there. He's gone to NFC title games. He's been through the gauntlet of it. He hasn't been to a Super Bowl, right? No, he's been in the NFC title games. That's where he's. That's as far as he's gotten. But he's been in plenty of postseason games, so it's nothing new for him. Like I said, they went on the road last year and won. So
yeah, they almost beat San Fran. I think the following game, didn't they? Yeah. They played San Fran tough, real tough.
Yeah, they're good.
I expect them to show up and play.
They're good. They're just not as good. They're a little banged up. I mean, Christian Watson's going to be a huge conversation this week because if he's not good to go,
I'd rather him play because he fucking stinks.
Well,
he stinks.
He's still one of his guys.
I agree, but he stinks. Terrible.
Oh, I'm not saying that I think he's a number one or any of that kind of shit. I'm just telling you he's one of his guys. That's
I just
all.
hate him. I just hate him.
I never really liked him.
That's a guy I thought was going to be good. I had him in fantasy a couple years. I hate him.
He's a
I was
body
wondering where that hatred came from, and I was kind of on your same wavelength. Like, yeah, he's cost me a lot of money over the years.
He's a body catcher. He's a body catcher.
And the one time I had him,
because that's why he drops a lot of footballs.
Yeah, the one time I had him for a TD this year, he dropped that wide open touchdown for like a 60-yarder.
I remember that one.
I needed it big time, and I'll never like him again, ever.
No, not a jug. Not a guy, Wells. That guy's not on the jug machine. You understand?
No.
He's not a jug guy. Everything's off the goddamn,
Yeah, use your hands. You're a receiver. Catch the ball with your hands.
You got a goddamn bulletproof vest on. These guys wear. Like you don't want to let that get in their body.
Not to mention, he's always hurt.
Yeah,
he is always hurt.
Always.
Well, good. He hurt again this week. There's another guy.
Yeah,
and
I would assume he's probably not going to play. I mean, it didn't look great.
Well, no Jair Alexander is the killer for them. Like I've been saying,
it's been a couple weeks, right? Yeah,
he hasn't played for a little while. I don't think.
Yeah.
It's a tough one to overcome, in my opinion.
No, I agree. And you would assume they're going to come in thinking that they have to stop the run. So you would think there should be opportunities downfield.
Now they got players.
There's 3 shot plays, absolutely.
I mean, they got good players still on their defense. We know they do. Obviously Xavier McKinney's still a good player. Quay Walker's a good player. They have Rashawn Gary leads their team 7.5 sacks.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that's a ton when you're playing 17 games like he did. Their leading tackler is Quay Walker, though. 102 total tackles. It's not a ton. So, they're okay defensively. I mean, Xavier McKinney has 8 picks, but that's his MO. Sort of who you want.
He is a pick guy. Yeah,
that's the guy you want to stay away from there. But like again, no Jair kills.
You can
them.
beat him though because he takes risks.
No, he does.
Yeah. I'd be interested to see if we could dive into how many of those picks are without Alexander. Because I almost wonder if Alexander's cover skills allow him to then go make those chances, right, or go take those chances.
Yeah, I mean,
I would assume he probably has more with Alexander on the field, Greg. I would agree.
Yeah, that's what I'm. Yeah.
And one of them is he picked off Keenan Allen today, which is atrocious.
Oh my God! First off, Keenan Allen, Bears
Great year.
maybe lose that play because Keenan Allen looked confident in the throw, and there wasn't a Chicago Bear around. It was right to Xavier McKinney. There wasn't a bear in sight.
So the one thing they do is they spread the ball around. Obviously, they don't have a guy on their roster over 1,000 yards at the wide receiver position.
Yeah.
So you can tell they spread the ball around a lot, which I think actually plays to our benefit in a weird way. Because I think we have enough cover guys.
Yeah.
I think we might luck out in this weather thing here.
I hope not.
No, I need that. I don't need that out of you.
I like to get smoked. If you're going to bring it,
2 inches.
No, if you bring it, then bring it. That's how I've always looked at it.
Without being an analytic nerd, he got them all early, Greg. So I don't know. I feel like Alexander's been out for like the last 4 weeks, right?
Yeah, well, that'll go to your point.
Yeah.
Greg totally redeems himself.
Just like that.
Without Google.
You're saying when he was out or when he was in?
No, he was saying he played more when he was in. Yeah,
more when he was in.
We're used to Greg being wrong, but he's correct here.
Yeah, this is shocking. I mean, this is.
Let me clip this. Right?
It's unbelievable.
Just to show that it happens.
Oh shit!
Oh, Josh.
Number one thing for tomorrow that I want to see is not a lot of snow on the ground and Jalen clears concussion protocol. I want to wake up to Jalen Hurts has cleared concussion protocol. And then I'm good. Then we're good.
Yeah, we're just different.
Well, Jalen's not going to be in the. You probably want no snow, so Jalen can get to the facility and get clear, right? No. If we got a blizzard, he ain't getting clear.
not we, because you're not here. So don't we us with the blizzard.
No. I mean,
I go to work regardless, so I don't want any. I would rather it be very little snow.
Yeah, we're opposite.
In the 40s.
I'm gonna do an opposite day with you here, Wilson, because
I understand where you're at.
I'm all for Jalen clearing concussion protocol,
nice day.
But unlike you, and for the sake of you, I don't want that, right? But I do, not for the sake of you, but for there's a lot of other things.
I get it. Hey, when you got young kids, they want to play. You don't got to go. You don't got to go anywhere. It's fine. I get it. I get it. I'm not 11. Don't have young kids. When I was 11, loved snow. Right now, it doesn't matter. We get 10 inches. I still got to go to work, so I don't want it.
Yeah, I'm just a big. If I got to go out and shovel, I then just deliver it all.
That's why you're in a love triangle. You got 10 inches.
Yeah. That's what she said.
Good for you.
Tuesday is going to be cold tomorrow.
Don't be putting that out there. Everyone will be just disappointed with me the rest of their life.
By the way, Team USA Juniors won back-to-back World Junior Championships.
Looked like they were going to lose, too.
Yeah, they won in overtime.
Comeback, right? They were down 3-1.
Yep. Good on the boys.
I thought they lost. I got the update when I was driving back that they won because I was watching a little bit of it and they were getting kind of killed.
Yeah. Good on the boys. Well done.
Yeah, cool.
Supposed to get about 8 inches somewhere.
Oh, hello.
Yeah, and they're saying 12 in Delaware.
I'm not going to say
anything. In Delaware.
I was about to say, would love that, and then I know that was going to go.
Flip it.
And can't even say. Yeah, I can't.
I want to close your night out. That would have capped your night, buddy.
Not like 8 inches to cap your night.
Hey, 2 for 2 for the San Francisco Giants. That would have been you. 3 for 3 into the bay. 3 for 3 into the bay.
From the ball boy. Look at this. Look at the ball boy.
Into the bay.
Rookie of the year. Rookie of the year. The ball boy.
JT Snow.
JT Snow.
Oh, I love it. Love a little JT Snow.
You said ball boy. I just remember him saving the kid.
Dusty's son.
Dusty's son.
He made his debut this year.
So Bill says, guys, he definitely made me feel better. I'm not sure I was as worried. I was so worried.
We're here for Bill
against the Bears. I was looking at last week's spanking they put on the Saints. Yeah, and everybody should spank the Saints, right? I mean,
the Saints were playing the Sisters of the Poor. They had nobody playing. Spencer Rattler at QB, some guy never heard of at running back.
Yeah.
The Valdez-Scantling didn't even play. I think their best receiver last week was the guy I never heard of. So come on, nobody
Yeah,
played.
Yeah, Dennis
Listen,
Quaid. Dennis Quaid was like, "Who the hell are these guys? They're shitty."
Bill, this is simple.
Randy Quaid, sorry.
This is the simplest thing in the world. You shouldn't be worried until an NFC title game. And if they go and lose and make us worry, then we got bigger problems that we'll talk about right here on Agree to Disagree. Okay? But we shouldn't be worried or concerned about shit until that part of the playoffs, because I don't think we're facing a team to our caliber until that part of the playoffs. Because I don't think we're going to see one in round 2 that's at that caliber that is better than us, top to bottom, roster-wise, or comparable. You will not see that. Or as well coached. The floor close. The floor's close because he's done it for a minute. But Nick's won a ton of football games, if we like him or not.
Yep.
At this point, the numbers speak.
Who?
Like you said, paper is paper. They've been the best team in football for a while now. So you got to go out and finish, man. You know, like I said, we saw how that works for the Phillies. You know, you know what I mean? Like, two different sports, but
not with snow, John. All right. Let's not put this out here now. All right. Not with snow.
That's a good one, Johnny. That's a good one.
It's a great one, but not with snow. Let's have a little class. Let's have a little class. I don't mind the snow. I just I always said I'll hire somebody to cut my lawn, and I'll stand by that. Doesn't mean I don't do it. I did a couple times this summer. Felt good about it too. All right. But then came in, sweating my dick off, and said I said I would have just hired somebody. Why am I out here doing this? Now the snow removal, that's on the head of the household. All right. I stand by that one. You know, it's on the big dog. And it doesn't mean her. All right. And then me.
Question. Are you out there shoveling or you got a snowblower?
Shovel.
I like that.
Sweeps will be down.
Man's work. Man's work.
It won't be Len, but he'll probably text Sweeps like, "Hey, thanks, buddy."
That can very well happen too. Because once he gets going, he gets going. I mean, you can't stop him.
Absolutely.
Like he's seeing one way.
Sure,
Even if I went out there and tried to stop him, he's going.
You're right.
He's done. He's done.
It's not an indictment on you. Once the boots are on and the gloves are on and the thermals are on, I'm going up and down. I'm going up and down the block.
I might be peeking. Did he go up outside yet?
As soon as you see him out there, you come out, start like slowly shoveling the front. Just waiting for him to come down the sidewalk.
I was just getting to it.
Watch. This is gonna happen tomorrow without by accident. This is gonna happen by accident tomorrow. It's gonna look like look at this guy. Look at this guy. Stigma gets created. It's gonna be a big problem.
He's just picking out a block. Waiting to see that snow flying out. I think the blower's out. Start on the front steps.
See, the reason I'm a little scared about the blower is I feel like now I'm obligated for the whole fucking block. You understand? Like knowing me,
100%. No, 100%.
Now I'm the guy. I got old people down this way, and I don't know if I want that responsibility.
If you're a good neighbor, you got to hit both sides at least.
Yeah,
like a good neighbor.
I do manually. If I had the snowblower, you said, I would feel like
the old woman that's this way. I mean, I might as well. I shovel both, so yeah. I'm actually hoping that my brother doesn't have. If we do get a bunch of snow, I'm hoping that he doesn't have to work, so I can just be like, "You better be out there shoveling, motherfucker.
You better be up on it.
You better be shoveling."
Danny
Bill
boy.
says, we'll do this, and we'll talk a couple minutes of some 10-9-8s too.
No. Because I don't see I don't think the Lions are losing to anybody but us.
Lions can be beat.
Who could they get?
Like, who's going to beat them? Who's coming into Detroit and beating them?
The Rams.
No shot. Rams are going to lose. They might beat the Vikings. I don't think. But you know what though? Honestly, what's it called? Might give them a good game. Washington will give them. I think the Bucs did beat them this year. But that was probably in Tampa, I think. But I think the Washington could give them a good game. If Washington beat the Bucs, they obviously would play them, right? Because it reseeds. We're not going to lose to the fucking Packers. So the 6th seed would then play the 1, right? So I think Washington could give them a good game.
They lost to the Bucs week 2.
Yeah, I thought they did.
Yeah, there's always
It's funny.
a chance.
It's funny. The Bucs beat the 1 and 2 seed.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's always a chance, Bill. I mean,
Yeah.
that's why
Yeah, I mean anybody can lose. It's like dude at
Just
the
like us.
bar. I wasn't really arguing, but I was talking with the dude at the bar about it last night, and he was saying to me, he's like, "Wow, my biggest fear is if we go down like 10 points early." And I said, "That's literally every team in the playoffs' biggest fear. Every fucking one."
Yeah.
He's
But
like, that would be bad. I'm like, yeah, no shit,
Yeah,
that would be bad.
That still doesn't. To me,
And we
that
haven't really
never.
done that all year.
But it still doesn't dictate the game to me. Like there's still a lot of football. If you went down 10-0 in the first, like I feel like we're too good for me to be like nervous yet.
No,
Like,
of course, but that's not where you want to be.
No, you don't want to. No, nobody's signing up for it. You know what I mean? I'm not going to come in and volunteer myself. But I'm always saying like I'd rather finish hot than start hot if I had the choice. Just me.
We're like right on the cusp of the 3 to 5, 1 to 3. More 3 to 5, I guess. Delaware's going to get hit.
Yeah, we're in the 3 to 5. Yeah, and we got a chance to get 5 to 8, where me and Sweeps are too. Oh, okay. Where are we located there? I feel like we're a little. Oh.
I think you're right where it's like turning purple to blue.
Yeah, we're in a little
Grower, not a shower.
Oh God, this is gonna be a whole day.
Yeah, this is
Building snowman and.
So who do you think is going to win all the playoff games? How about this way? Who will there be any upsets? I think the first game's an upset. Texans, Chargers. I think Chargers are going to beat Texans.
Yeah, I don't think that's an upset though. They're favored.
Well, are they favored in Houston?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know about that. If they're favored in Houston, then I definitely think they're going to win.
Chargers -3. Sweeps don't miss, bro. A lot.
I love the Chargers now.
What other games?
Like
what are the other? What are rattle them off?
Ravens 9 and a hook.
4:30 is Ravens are Saturday night.
Okay,
Ravens are going to beat Pittsburgh. I think
Ravens Pittsburgh. Okay.
Yeah, Ravens
Pittsburgh
Pittsburgh
covers
Saturday
though.
night.
I think Pittsburgh covers though. They always handle.
I
know they've been shit, but they always play Baltimore tough.
Yeah,
they do, but I just can't trust them anymore.
I hear you.
You don't even want to put $2 on them. I mean,
nothing.
They're so bad, bro. Jesus, but I agree with you.
The way that they ended that game last night.
Oh my God.
A minute and a half out, they're just taking their fucking sweet time. Russ, get on the football. And then he runs for 3 yards and slides inbounds. What are you doing?
Yeah, he actually looked for contact. It was amazing.
What are you doing?
Like, he looked for contact there. I was like, is this guy looking for contact? Like,
he was in a bumper car. He was like bumper car.
Somebody tell Russ he's got a fucking timeout.
It's like, Russ, you're not a rookie. You're not a rookie here, Russ.
It went from 55 seconds to 35, and they're like, and he's still going like this. Hike the football, Russ.
Yeah. Just do anything.
Unreal. It reminded me of that. It reminded me when he was on Denver last year, and Peyton was like, I think we take a timeout here, maybe timeout. Peyton took like 26 timeouts while Russ was still, maybe take a timeout here. So yeah, I think Ravens are going to win that one.
Yeah.
1 o'clock game Sunday is Buffalo, Denver.
I don't know, dude.
I like Bo Nix, but I just
Broncos is a tough Broncos team. I mean, I love Josh
Allen. They're well coached.
I do not want to see this because that's where the arrows come at this poor guy. So this guy needs to make a run because everybody's got the quiver out and they just want to shoot at him. You know what I mean? Even though they're not that good. I don't know. I don't know what you want this guy to do. You know what I mean? I've said it 100 times to you guys in the chat, right? His best receivers, Earth, Wind, and Fire. You know what I mean? Like unless Cooper's helping. You know what I mean? Because the other guy walks on hot coals. That's the guy he's throwing to. Come on, man. That's why this guy had an unbelievable year. Like, I mean, Cook's nice. Besides that, the other guy's propped up. I mean, they got a guy at safety that we don't even know if it's a stunt double. I don't know that. I mean, they're just not. They got it done. They overachieved. I thought. You know what I mean? And they got themselves because of him. That's what I look at. But I think his Broncos team's pretty good.
They are pretty good.
Like I said, I know not a lot of people like him. He's a hate the face kind of guy, and I know he's got that smug look in his face, but guy can coach football, man.
Very good coach.
And he should have said what he said last year, and that's what we when we crumbed him because of you're in the profession. There's no reason. The dude's on his way out. There was no reason to say any of that. But he was right. That was that should have been your inside voice. Nathaniel Hawthorne, he writes books, whatever. And then Nathaniel Hackett is an absolute moron. It was a terrible job in Denver, and he knew that Russ stunk. He couldn't wait to get him out of town. You know what I mean? As we could say, it was a cute little story for us for a couple weeks there. But Justin Fields has got to be like, how bad am I? I can't play? I can't play? Oh, yeah, Mike. Yeah, Mike. I'm over here in the back. I got my hand up. I can't play.
I'm shocked they haven't gone.
I agree.
Really, yeah.
Well, because their offense was like as much as
better under us, but the last couple of weeks have been bad.
Well, no, I would say the first couple of weeks on their fields, like they had an identity though. Like they were obviously run first, and they would get some big plays, right? And they played off their defense a lot, but at least Fields can I don't know. I feel like Russ can barely throw the ball anymore.
Yeah,
honestly, I don't know what they're doing because we were talking about this yesterday, Tom. Like they're running short yardage with Jalen Warren. They're throwing the ball to Najee Harris. Everything's backwards.
Yeah.
Najee Harris is your bruising back. Jalen Warren is your shifty back. You're doing this shit the wrong way.
Yeah. Why was Warren in on the fourth down?
As much as
why did Russ take that weak ass?
Well, the true Russell
quarterback
Wilson
sleep.
First off, the true Russell Wilson was gonna stand up here. All right, we're talking about a 36-year-old guy. He made his living off of ad-lib, right? He made his living off of being able to be mobile, right? The second the mobility isn't there, he's not a pocket guy.
He's got a little bit still, but it's definitely not what it used to be.
No, and nor should it be, right? But my point of that is like it's going to be known that if this guy can't sit in the pocket and make the routine, like Tom said at halftime, we got to make the routine routinely.
Yeah.
So, and that starts with your quarterback making routine throws that he missed a lot in the first half. Right?
George Pickens might have dropped 5 balls yesterday.
Well, he did too. He did too.
He was a squid.
And Russ can be good at times. Don't get me wrong, but I think, it is what it is. You know what I mean? So
don't get me wrong. I would love to see them beat Baltimore.
I just think they cover or make it a game.
We always talk about defense travels, man, and I think that Denver defense is really, really good. You know what I mean? So
they got the best corner. They got the best corner.
Cam plays there really, really, really good.
They got the best corner in football, right?
Is there a shot he doesn't
play? I think they lead the league in sacks
I think he should, but he's missed a couple games at the end of the season here.
I believe they lead the league in sacks.
I know he played today.
You want to talk about what a turnaround from giving up 70?
Yep.
Right. Not that long ago. So you want to talk about a defense really changing their stripes in them and the Eagles did the same thing. Yeah. Essentially, them and the Eagles both got exposed last year defensively. All were terrible, right? And now both of them this year are two of the top teams defensively in football.
Yeah.
So credit to both organizations right there because both really figured it out. Now it helps with both organizations when you have some lockdown guys on the outside too, and they got the best in the business, obviously, in 13. But like you said,
and I think they lead the league in sacks. I think,
and I'm sure, and not even knowing
their bunch.
But knowing their secondary, from what I understand, is two of the better cover corners in football. And their other guy is too. And
the rookie,
Riley Moss.
Yeah, the other white corner in the league.
Well, so two factors. It's either you lead the league in sacks because your cover skills are that great, or you lead the league in sacks because those guys are just dominant, or it's a combo, or it's a combo platter.
I think that one dude ended a half sack though. That one dude had to split that sack, and I think he ended a half sack away from a bonus. Oh,
it's good to see that Vegas listens to our show. An hour. It took them an hour and 43 minutes. Here to come. And it come here to go. Eagles -4.5. And it come here to go.
Yes, I think everyone's hopping on the Eagles. At 3.5. Get it in before it gets up.
And it come here to go. Bucks are -3 over the Skins. And the Vikings open up 2 and a hook on the road.
Bucks.
Rams. Ram eyes.
I like the Rams. I like the Rams as a home
yum. I like
Tampa.
Stafford home dog. Sign me up. Puka home dog. Sign me up.
Yeah.
Sign me up. I love that Puka. What a fucking stud.
That's how good the Eagles are on defense, because that offense, I mean, I thought that was months ago, but I thought that was where the Eagles were going to first up their toe. Was going out to LA. Just the way the schedule shook, and the travel gets a road game, and that offense is really dangerous, and they just shut them down.
Well,
shut them down.
I think fucking Saquon ran for like 400 in that game.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I think that's what we would do again too if we played them.
Well, that's a difference maker. I think Tampa is going to go into Washington and beat them.
No, it's in Tampa.
It's in Tampa.
Isn't it? Yeah, because they won the division. That's right.
I think that's a tough game for them though, just because of the way they play. Like Tampa stops the run. They're vulnerable to the pass. Jaden, they stop the run well as the running back, but I think Jaden might be able to make some plays. I think it's going to be a tough game. Tampa probably wins, but it's a tough game.
Should be a good game.
And it's a Sunday night game.
Yeah.
And what's the Monday night game?
Rams, Vikings.
Yeah, Rams, Vikings. Yeah, I like Rams in that game.
So do I. Home dog, sign me up.
Yeah, and we know the Vikings on the road. They're just not as good. So
yeah, they're much better at home.
That doesn't mean they're not good, because
they could definitely win. Don't get me wrong. They got weapons, and you can throw on the Rams. I would assume that game's a pretty high scoring game.
All their losses have come on the road. That's all.
They're very good at home. They are.
Unless I'm wrong.
We know the Glazers have a ton of money, so they don't really probably give a shit. But if you're the Glazers, I mean, would you be firing the coaches? I mean, listen, the records are cute, and I'm happy for Mike Epps because he's a class act and he's a Hall of Famer. But wow, he threw the ball, man. All they had to do was take a knee, and they threw the ball and got him his $3 million. $3 million. I called down.
I think it was more.
I called down.
It was more about tying Jerry Rice's record.
I'm sure, but it's
the 11 straight.
11 straight years of 1,000 yards and 10 touchdowns.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely.
The fact that he got a $3 million bonus is also a little icing on top.
Did you hear how he's going to spend it? Yeah, I might go to casino with the family. Play some blackjack.
Damn, Mike. Let's get ahead of that.
Hey, Mike.
He's such a stud, though, and such an underrated stud when you talk about like the top end wide receivers. He's always there. Obviously, right? 11 years, 1,000 yards. That's insane.
And 10 touchdowns.
And that's insanity.
Yeah, he's been awesome. Real quick, Sixers this week. Pretty, easy week outside of your last one, the last one in Orlando. Per se, I mean,
they're still banged up though.
I'm not saying Phoenix is easy, but you got Phoenix, you have the Wizards on Wednesday, you have the Pelicans on Friday.
We're home, right? All you're home.
Yeah, and then you go to Orlando on Sunday.
We're favored tomorrow, so he must be playing.
Yeah, I would assume he play all week because there's no.
One of these stuff, Joe. Make sure you hire somebody.
No, there's no back-to-backers here.
Two primetime games on there. Tomorrow and Friday on NBA TV.
Our last prime time wasn't too good.
No, it wasn't good at all.
Was that Golden State?
Yeah. But better, but obviously a lot better basketball since a lot better basketball since Thanksgiving, for sure.
No, for sure.
So at least it's the product you can turn on. Take what you want from it, but at least it's the product you can turn on now.
I mean, 11-5 since Thanksgiving.
Yeah, so they've been playing better basketball. It's a big week, though. It's another week where you need a 3-1 stretch here.
Yeah, you need to. Yep, I agree.
You just need to continue to keep. You're right in everything. Like I think they're 2 games out from the 3 games out from the 5 seed or something. Like they're not. This isn't like crazy. So now you got yourself back into the conversation per se. Now he's got to continue to go on those stretches like we talked about, where 3-1, keep those kind of stretches around.
3 games.
You're going to play teams that are 3 games, right? Yeah, because you're going to play teams that are better than you, and you're going to lose too. But
of course,
you got to clean up. Games. You got to clean up on some of this. You got to keep coming out of the mud, as the Paul Reed loser fans would say. But you just got to keep coming out of it because they have. So they have for sure. But now you got to keep it up.
I got a question about the Sixers. When are we just gonna fucking just make Kyle Lowry a coach and stop putting him in the basketball game because he's awful. He's too old. He's terrible.
He's always terrible. Nurse here too, so you're right. I think that's his next step. You know what I mean? Okay, Harrison.
They all joke around about it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Just
know
make him
that.
an assistant coach already.
It's a big
Go
running joke.
trade for a better backup point guard. Make him assistant coach. I can't watch him play basketball anymore.
No, I agree with you. I've been saying I'd rather Reggie Jackson get those minutes than
Yes,
him.
absolutely. Reggie Jackson should get those minutes.
Like, I don't know why Reggie
It's not
Jackson.
even close.
Like, yeah, I don't know why he's like frowned upon. Like, he can play in this league. You know, he's played for the Nuggets. They were a really good team. He got 20
Instant
minutes a
offense.
game there. Yeah, he got 20 minutes a game there. He can bring the ball up. He can facilitate an offense. He can do those types of things, and he's not bad defensively when he wants to play. You know, when he wants to play defensively, he's not bad. But this team's good, and Maxi's awesome. Right, I think Maxi can do a lot of things. I think Paul George has been his numbers might not speak to it, but I think he's been really good for the most part. He's had some duds, but I think for the most part he's been pretty good, and he's been really good defensively. I think he's been a good distributor of the basketball too. But just that guy who can at least create his own shot. It's there, which is good. And you know, Joe, when Joe's played, Joe's been Joe. So
yeah,
there's nothing different there.
Yeah, it's the same. It's
except for Golden State, where he was just a disaster.
It's just
it's funny too, because
same thing every year with Joe.
Yeah,
when he's on the court, he's great. It's just not on the court a lot.
And those two games on that road trip, that back to back, it just soured how potentially good that road trip could have been, right? Regardless whether that.
I don't mind about the Golden State.
Terrible run
if I win it, if I close out
the whole game.
Yeah, if I close out Sacramento, you don't even have to show up to Golden State.
Exactly.
Well, they did.
Or if we knew you're getting,
if
you knew you're getting that effort, then you play Sacramento so we could guarantee that win. But we knew that wasn't happening, right? We all knew what the schedule was going to be for Joe, and it was the losing to Sacramento the way we did just ruined kind of that, like, what was a really good road trip for a lot of the time.
Yeah, agreed. Especially
that's
the way you lost.
That's a 4-1 road trip instead of 3-2.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Then
You got
smoked in the
a
fourth
9-point
quarter.
lead with 3 minutes left.
Yeah, and you got
3.5.
smoked in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, they just couldn't. They didn't have a ball handler at that point, and that's where I just say, like, let Reggie do it at least. Then get somebody with get a veteran to do it that can still move and not Kyle Lowry. But I still stand by this. Like, they're good enough. Like, the thing that killed him on this road trip at the end was no Oubre, because he's been so good defensively. And unlike other years, I've had a great opportunity to be able to watch them more. And he's been that good defensively, where I don't think he was that good defensively last year. He's had an uptick on the defensive side of the court, and it showed in that Boston game for anybody that watched that on Christmas Day. In the first quarter, he was up in shorts. He was 99. It felt like he was picking up guys, underneath the other basket and just riding them all the way up the court. That being said, his offensive game matters to us too. I know it's another quit me, but
I didn't say it. You did.
But what he can bring offensively too, and as another potential ball handler, I think his presence, like, and not having Joe, they're not good enough for that.
Yeah.
But when you add him in, not crowning him, I'm just saying there's a guy who can get 15 points a game, right?
Yeah.
Per se. But when you add him in,
he's a key piece. He's a key piece of this team.
And there's no Joe. They're good enough to beat a lot of teams in basketball.
Sure.
They're still good enough. That's the difference of being able to still come out of this, even with Joel having games that we know are going to be scheduled days off, right?
Yep.
They're still good enough to beat a lot of teams in basketball with George and Maxey as their 1-2 punch. They just are.
Yeah, the Kings game, they just turned it over, and that was Maxey too. So I guess I don't even remember.
He was a dog on a hardwood.
I don't even remember Lowry playing, but Maxey was horse shit the last 5 minutes. He's a point guard. He couldn't even get it up. I know he's not.
Clip that.
But he couldn't even get up to. They couldn't even get past half court. Him and George, they had about 6 turnovers in the last 4 minutes.
Yeah, it was heinous. The end of that game was bad.
They were a mess.
They weren't even getting shots off.
No, we couldn't do anything offensively.
We just rolled the next
stagnant.
play.
It was so stagnant. Like, there was no ball movement. It was like guys forgot how to dribble. It was like, what happened here? And I think sometimes that gets you with no Joel. Sometimes just that the presence of going and getting a bucket in crunch time. because we talk about, but Maxi's been pretty good this year in crunch time.
No,
You know,
he's the way he's been going to the hole in crunch time. I love it.
Yeah, he needs to still get more calls, but I think they're going to continue to keep coming for him. He keeps bitching about him, so don't stop bitching.
No, like you said, it just rolled in. You know, the way you finish, it rolled right into Friday. You know, so Joe came back. Joe always going to have, whenever he plays, he's going to get his numbers. But I mean, you're talking about 15-0 run from the night before, and then the first quarter was 35-19. So that's 50-19. I understand they're two different games. I'm telling you, 50-19 in a quarter, and a half. I mean, in 2 games, crazy.
That's not good.
Yeah.
Looks like Jalen, according to Bill, has progressed through protocol.
Yeah, well, we knew this.
Yeah. That's the first thing that we were saying. He needed to be.
No,
he needs to be practicing tomorrow, so he needs to be through the protocol.
But no, I think this team's right where they want to be after a terrible start to the season. They, like I said, they responded to that for the most part, and it's got to continue to that.
And you're neat
because if they're together, which we know it's a big if, but if they're together, they're going to be a dangerous team. They'll be dangerous to teams. I don't know if you're signing up to play those three. You know what I mean? I'm just saying that, like you know what I mean? Take it for whatever that is. I don't know if you're signing up for it.
To your point, like I said, you're in the East. So if there's, maybe if you're in the West and
if you're West,
you start like that, you got no chance. So, that's why we always joked about it. I mean, they made us nauseous, but you really were never out of it unless you started, 2-22 or something. You know what I mean? But they weren't that bad. So I mean, record wise, and then they got it, 14-19. So that's good for the 11th. They're right there. There's only, I mean, there's barely, even if you go up to the 5th seed, which is the Bucks, they're 17-16.
Yeah.
That's how bad the East is. It's crazy.
Yeah,
they're right in it.
Yeah.
And they're playing good ball after Christmas, which we always talk about the start date, really. And now they've started to play enough games together, which I think that's important too. Right? They started to compile those 3 guys, starting to play more together, which matters.
Yeah. You're right.
We've got to get through some of these guys in and out of the lineup, which is the common theme for the Sixers. But again, it's a big if, but again, if they're healthy, like they are at this moment right now, they're dangerous.
Yeah, you don't have to. Yeah, as I said, you don't have to be scared of anybody. Now, as bad as the East is, it is top heavy. I mean, the Cavs are. I keep waiting for the shoe to drop, but they're 31-4. Again, that's like at some point I have to be like, all right, got to put some respect.
They're playing great defense
on the Cavs. Yeah, I got to put some respect on the Cavs. I mean, holy cow, we're 35 games in. That's insane. And we know the Celtics are the Celtics, and the Knicks had a nice little 9-game winning streak. So, they are who they are. So, you take those 3 teams, and then if the Sixers ever got their act together, like you said, with those 3 guys, if they can play it together and stay healthy and play at an elite level, I mean, it's a good trio.
Yeah, I think we could beat anybody except those 3 teams.
Yeah, I think
Milwaukee don't scare me at all because of old Glenn.
Well, I think we match up well against all 3 too, though, in weird ways. Like Embiid always owns Towns. That's not even up for debate. So that's different than what they rolled out last year. Now they're better, obviously, with their additions too. But we're also better getting a third scorer and our perimeter defense is way better than it's been in years past. Just with Oubre and George out there, way more athletic, right? Way more able to keep up with like Tatum and Brown per se. I thought they did a good job on Christmas. Now, I'm not saying we're beating any of those teams.
No, but if I know what you're getting at. That was my point. My point is,
if we can get to 4, that'd be great.
If we end up at the 8, or one seed, it wants nothing to do with that.
No,
anything to do with that.
If I'm Cleveland, I didn't have this regular season for this shit.
I would love.
Yeah, I'm Cleveland. I'm like, I didn't do all this all year to see this fucking team. That's you know what?
I honestly feel like we can beat Cleveland.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. Cleveland's the one.
And I will put hand to God, I'm a notorious Donovan Mitchell is a pile of shit.
Yeah, well,
guy. He's
Garland doesn't stink, and that's the difference to me.
Yeah, Evan Mobley's a pimp.
And Evan Mobley's awesome.
He's really good.
And Mitchell doesn't stink, but I know Wills hates him.
I know, I hate him.
Yeah, that's okay.
He's a loser.
Yeah,
he's a loser.
Yeah.
They'll lose because he's a loser.
He's a jacker. He's what we call a jacker. He's never found a shot he doesn't like.
Yep.
And especially in the postseason. He'll shoot you out of a game.
Yes,
There's guys like that. He can shoot you out of a game. He can shoot you right in a game too. So he has the ability to do both. But I think we match up well against them. I ain't scared of them. Really, I'm not. But Boston obviously is always a fear. But the Knicks don't scare me because who's stopping Embiid? That's where I question the Knicks. But they're much improved. And they beat us last year.
The Knicks will fucking hustle you to death. We got to be gritty to beat the Knicks because they'll hustle you to death. You got to be gritty to beat the Knicks. They hustled us to death in the playoffs last year. We couldn't get a fucking rebound.
Yeah, I think that's why Caleb Martin's a great addition.
Well, clearly he's a good addition against the Celtics because he's a Celtic killer.
He is a Celtic killer, yeah.
Well, I think he's been a great addition.
He's starting to play a lot better. Early in the year, I was like, man, he just doesn't look like he's fitting, but he's starting to play a lot better. He's like, they're finding their roles, like you were saying. It's good to get the cohesiveness of them all playing together.
It's important.
Very important. We just need McCann to come back.
He showed his true colors.
Going to be out for a while, I'd assume.
Yeah.
I think he's done for the year. Yeah.
I like Caleb Martin showing his true colors.
Is he officially done for the year?
Yeah, I think it was a tear, right? Pretty sure.
Yeah, I don't. Unless we go on a deep run.
Yeah, I was hoping maybe he'd be back for the end of the season.
We'll see. Things can change on that, I guess.
Yeah, I mean it's a long way away. The season drags.
Yeah,
I just think
he got surgery, but
I'm not scared of the Knicks just because I think we're better too, and I think they lost stuff defensively in the middle, like they're you know what I mean, down low where they don't have as much as that. But we're also a more physical team too, and I think we have way more rebounding than we did last year in terms of guys like Caleb Martin who's willing to rebound. George rebounds, right? They're two new additions. So I think just having like guys in there that are willing to rebound and hustle, they're hustle guys. We have some hustle guys too. So, we match up better. Doesn't mean we are better, right? And like Boston's better until proven otherwise. That's where I'll leave that one. Even though we beat them on Christmas Day, that's great. It's a huge accomplishment for us going in the right direction. But until we beat them in a playoff series, I won't say that. You know what I mean? That we match up well, right? I think we do. I think we can, but I won't do that because that's not fair. It's just that'd be talking out my ass. They got to go do that for that to change. And I mean, they can go to an Eastern Conference final and not see Boston, and Boston's not in it anymore, and that can change too. So it doesn't, it can change in a lot of ways.
Absolutely.
But they have the coaching, in my opinion. And they have the star power, you would want in the fourth quarter to be able to hit big shots. So then it comes down to Kenya. But they got a lot of work to do before we can talk about that. So you guys still get out of the.
Just got to win some games. Stacking wins.
Big week this week. Big week this week to go 3-1. And why don't get cute and just go sweep the week? Sweep the week out.
Let's do it.
It says he would be sidelined for the remainder of the season after having surgery on the left meniscus tear. Yep. He announced on YouTube.
He did announce it.
That was like December 24th. I don't know. So
I don't
probably did a dance.
Yeah.
Just reporting what I saw right there. Or not reporting, but you know what I mean.
I just feel like 6 months for a meniscus is crazy.
You would know. You had been.
I had meniscus. I had meniscus surgery. I was back in work in 2 months. Now, granted, I'm not playing basketball, but I do work.
Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why it went and got ruled out so fast.
That just seems like it's so long. Because I mean, the playoffs don't even fucking start till May.
Unless it's like, is there grades to your meniscus? Because I have a meniscus tear, but is there grades to it?
I mean, mine definitely wasn't like. If it's a bad tear, then obviously it's probably worse.
Because bro, he was dude, he was all codeed up like after that surgery, which tells me that was like a big surgery. Like you could tell he was. Yeah,
mine was only like a scope. Mine wasn't.
Yeah, this motherfucker didn't get no scope because he was lit up like a Christmas tree after that shit. Because in the video that he announced it, look at his eyeballs. You know what I mean? Tell me that's a guy that's not on some high-level pain meds because of a big-time surgery. You know what I mean? That's how I looked at it. When I was
You gotta
trying to
blow that shit out.
when I was looking at like why would he be out for the year? It doesn't make sense, right? And then when I saw him like the way he looked after the surgery and he's in the cap and gown and all that stuff, I'm like, oh man, this wasn't a scope. You know, they went in. They had to go in, obviously, which I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
But he's a baby. Either. He's a baby in terms of his age.
He should be fine. At some point, he'll be fine.
He still had a promising start, which is good.
Absolutely. Great start.
So,
that's why I was kind of hoping he'd be back for the playoffs.
No, yeah. I mean, it's a better alternative than Kyle Lowry, and they were doing that. But they got to do it with Reggie, or they got to go out and try to find somebody else to do it with. Because
agreed. I can't watch Lowry play anymore.
I think Reggie has the. I love Reggie.
I'm okay with Reggie.
He was not a big signing, but he was a guy I was excited about because I like his ability to score. You know, and I like the glasses. You got the glasses on, Reg.
Yeah, little Rex backs.
You know what I mean? He just looks like he's playing. He looks like he's playing N1 mixtapes. You know what I mean? Reg. Yeah, you know, and all my older family out there gets that one. But that's what he looks like he's doing. I think they're still around.
Hot sizzle. Hot sizzle. Are they still around? They might be.
Everything's still around.
Yeah,
it's not.
Listen. They made some good tapes back in the day. It's tough to call it basketball when you got a guy like emceeing from the court.
Billy Blue Bills, I'll tell you this. We're a better team today than the team that lost to Boston in 7 games. Agree or disagree?
I agree.
Well, yeah, I agree. We're a better overall team. I think.
Yes.
I don't know that Joel is a better player, just because he's not always healthy, right? Because the health is always going to play a factor now. But I think top to bottom, we are definitely deeper than that team, and we have more of a veteran bench presence than we ever had. So yeah, I agree as a whole.
Tyrese Maxey's a better player than he was in that series right now. Paul George is better than James Harden. I don't care. It's because he plays better defense than James Harden. So right there takes him up a notch when you're playing the Celtics. So I'm not saying we're better than the Celtics. I'm saying we're a better team than we were the team that lost in 7 games to them, 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would agree.
Yeah, I agree.
Doesn't mean they're not better too. I'm not saying they're not better as well. But we stand a chance against everybody if healthy. But again, we got to keep going on these runs.
Yeah, because got to win games. It's got to win games right now.
Because if you go on tears, you can. I'll even say as much the 4 seeds open for business.
That's what I'm saying. If we can get to the 4, I like where we're at.
Because Orlando is not healthy.
No,
is Orlando in the 4s or is Atlanta up there?
No, not Atlanta. Not Atlanta.
It's Orlando still, but they're not.
Still, right?
Yeah.
I like Orlando, but they might still be like a year or 2 away.
They're banged up. They're banged up. Suggs just got carted off. I mean, he had like a back spasm, but they had to bring out like a wheelchair. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, there's 3.5 games between
Suggs.
Oh, I love Suggs too.
Yeah.
There's a 3.5 game gap between the Knicks at 3 and the Magic at 4. So there's a legit, and I mean, let's be real. There's a 5.5 game between Cleveland and Boston.
Yeah, you're not catching top 3 unless you went on you won 18 in a row, right? And then maybe
you have to have a monster run,
and then maybe you can catch a 3 seed. But the 1 and 2 are almost out of order. Okay, they're out of order, and I would even say 3's out of order. But 4 and down is open for business. It's open if you want to go on a run. It absolutely is, especially the 4 hole. Because I don't expect Milwaukee. I think Milwaukee is what Milwaukee is.
Yeah,
I think Orlando is a good team. I think Orlando's good, right? But I don't know if they can withstand the injuries that they've been hit with and continue to be like a 4 seed, right? That's all.
And Milwaukee got too cute with Lillard. There's only one basketball. You already got spelling bee.
Yeah,
they should have kept Drew, who's a better defensive player.
Yep.
And Jimmy nuked the Heat.
Yeah, they're done.
Jimmy does what Jimmy does.
I was gonna say it's about time. I checked my watch. Is this time for Jimmy to fucking throw a tantrum and get thrown off the team? It's about that time. It's about that time. I love how at first he was like, I'll accept the trade to 4 different teams, and then this week he was like, I'll play for anyone that's not the Heat.
Making $60 million. I can't find my joy. Shut the
Yeah, I'll say
Yeah.
this. People in Sixers groups are like, would you trade Paul George for Jimmy Butler? Absolutely not. And I'm a Jimmy fan. I'm a Jimmy supporter.
You do
But
you get to keep
I would.
Yabusele, though.
Sign me up. I
you
would.
gonna keep Yabusele though?
The difference in salary between Jimmy and Paul allows you to then potentially re-sign Yabusele.
Yabba dabba do.
I would trade for Jimmy in a
That changes
heartbeat
things.
because I know he's a killer and I know playoff Paul is not. That's facts. So I would, and I get that he's older than Paul, but I would.
Oh man, it's tough. It's tough knowing I can keep Yabi too. You know, that's tough because I like him. I like him a lot.
I think he was a gem.
He plays the game the right way.
The only way you have to somehow lose. I don't know, and I don't know how it truly works, right? But yeah, I think doing that trade allows you to have the ability to re-sign.
Greg, you're anti-Jimmy, so do you do it?
I am anti-Jimmy 100%. This is what Jimmy does, but Yabusele is to me is the key.
Sweeps you in?
Can you just get Lowry? Can you just get Lowry to retire?
I don't know.
Comparable salary.
I mean, I'm a monster Jimmy guy, and I really never liked Paul George. I liked him when he was with the Pacers, and then his leg snapped.
Before his leg snapped, I liked him.
I mean?
Yeah.
But I just feel like he's just a guy now that makes a lot of money. You know what I mean? Like I just don't. Like like he could have took over that game. No Joe on Wednesday, and you can't allow that to happen. Like Maxi's still a young guy. He shit down his leg too, all right? So I'm not taking anything away from him. But you're a veteran, Paul. You're a veteran, Paul. That can't happen, bud. That can't happen, man. Can't happen.
Yeah, I think this would definitely make Jimmy's joy come back for sure. To be able to play with Maxey and Embiid, and then also be able to play with Caleb Martin again. It was a big piece down there for them.
Yeah.
When they were winning some games. Yeah, I mean the injuries concerned the hell out of me. That's why I said no. Right? It wasn't about Jimmy as the player because he's a killer, like Will said, and he's another perfect fit here. He's the same type that you need as Paul George, a wing defender like that too. So you're not losing anything by gaining Jimmy. It's just the injuries that worry me. But now adding Yabusele, knowing that I can keep Yabusele, that would intrigue me. But if I can just not have Kyle Lowry back next year and keep Yabusele that way.
To that point, I don't know how that works. That would be obviously the ideal.
Yeah, that's fun too. So, but PG gets hurt too. I know. I get it.
Yeah, I know. I didn't want to say that. I was going to say, I mean, kind of an even trade there with the injuries.
Yeah, I guess
I don't want to knock on wood. I don't want. Hopefully, Paul can stay healthy.
I feel like Jimmy's almost been bagged up more than Paul over the last 2 years.
Yeah, but he plays in the playoffs, and he always plays above his head in the playoffs.
Yeah, we got to get there.
I agree. With the way we started, I agree.
Yeah, if I was like in the 6th seed right now, it's like okay, I can take a chance on some health right now and then I'm making a trade trade right now, and then I got to get that, and then I got to rebuild a chemistry. I don't know.
No,
I'm not against it. I wouldn't be like yelling and screaming like, "What are you doing?" Because I know that's probably what your best player would want. So I don't know.
I am also in the business of keeping your best player happy.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm not against it at all. I mean, I said no on the surface just because I feel like just Paul's been a little bit healthier than Jimmy over the last 2 years, and I could be wrong about that, but it just feels like he has been. But maybe he hasn't either because I feel like the 1 year he was banged up. But who knows? Who knows? Either way, it's like somebody said. Like you said. Well, it's an even trade there.
Yeah. Injury wise, it's pretty even. Yeah. I mean, listen. I just hope that Paul plays well. Just continue to play well. The cohesiveness gets together, and they just continue to win games. Because, like you said, right now it's just about winning games. Just gotta win games.
Yeah,
the East is not that tough. We can definitely get to 5, 6, 4, 5, 6. We can definitely get to 4, 5, 6.
No, easy. I don't. I don't want to say easy, right? But yeah, I mean, we're
win
3 games
yeah.
out of the 5. You're 3 games out of the 5.
Did Jimmy list us as one of his 4 teams? Does anybody know?
I'm sure he did. I don't know. I didn't see that they came out with it, but I'm sure he did.
At first, it was like Phoenix, the Clippers, maybe. There was like a bunch of teams in the West, and there's only like one in the East, I think. But then yesterday he said he'll play for anyone that's not the Heat. So I don't know what's really true. I would assume they're going to have to trade him. I know Riley at first was like, "We're not trading him," but Jimmy, he'll go back to where he's like at Minnesota, where I'll just beat everybody on the court. Yeah. You're going to choose these motherfuckers over me, type shit, and then it's like, now we gotta get rid of
him. he just went and beat everybody with the janitors. You know what I mean?
And then once that happens, you're not going to get as much for him. So you might as well just do it now.
But yeah, I mean, I would absolutely make the call, because I think that's what you do in good business, and see what more you can get back to, because you got to match salaries. So it's not just about getting him back, because you're giving up more money. So you probably have to get something else back, or add a third team into it if you wanted to get involved in that conversation. And maybe you can get cute. I don't know if you can get cute any other way in getting them, but if you really want to go like a power 4 here and really make a run, you keep all 4 of their asses. I don't know how that works, but
yeah, I'm not. That would be. Yeah, I'm not sure how that would work, but yeah.
I mean, I love good times, so I'm here for the party.
Yeah, I like the party too. Yeah.
I'm just trying to find a way to win it one year. Tom, can you do this for 1 year?
Yeah, it'd be nice.
But
it would be nice.
We'll see. Monday night. Let's go tomorrow night. We got a snow day. So
what, Greg, how you feeling about State Penn?
I think they should be. I think they're the better team, right? I don't necessarily think that Notre Dame can throw the football. They could definitely run the football, but I think that feeds right into Penn State's defense.
What's going on with Abdul Carter?
I don't know. I haven't heard anything.
Why did they not say anything during the broadcast about him? And he just stood on the sidelines for 3 quarters. The best player on the field has been standing on the sideline for 3 quarters, and no one said a word about it. I don't understand what was going on.
They mentioned something earlier about a
top 3 pick. I mean, they might want to tell us. Tell us something.
Yeah, might want to tell us.
Yeah, they mentioned arm or like shoulder. So early on when he went out, but then you're right. Then he sat there the whole time, and I'm like, what the hell's
they didn't say a
on?
word about him. I was like, what's going on?
Now, if he's out, then it's a different story. But I hadn't heard that he was. Everything I heard, he was playing, and he still plans to play.
Okay, well, that's good.
Yeah, I mean, I think we could see another rock fight, but I think
it's a low-scoring, tough game. It's gonna be a tough game.
But I think we have more Penn State's got more of an offensive outburst with Drew Hauer than Georgia potentially had with John Stockton. Right? We can run the football. We can run the football better, and with Tyler Warren, you can throw the football better.
That guy wishes he was fucking John Stockton.
Yeah, he wish he could.
All he had to do was be John Stockton, and he couldn't do that. Number 86 couldn't catch that day.
But no, I think Penn State's better. So
they got out physicaled, which was weird to see for Georgia.
Yeah.
Penn State's really good, but Notre Dame is good too. But
Notre Dame is good. Yeah,
they got good defense.
They're in the semis. Yeah, they're in the semis. So you can hate on them all you want. I'm not a Notre Dame fan, right? And besides the quarterback position, they're really good. They're really good.
Yeah, I would say if they're downfall, it's definitely
well coached.
He's not going to throw. Yeah, he's not going to beat you with his arm, but he does enough.
But they are well coached.
Yeah,
sure.
Marcus Freeman, good coach.
I hate that I like Marcus Freeman.
Yeah, I like Marcus Freeman, and I hate.
I want him to move on. Like I want him to go somewhere else so I can like him as a coach.
Yeah, I'm anti Notre Dame. So,
getting rid of Brian Kelly is the best thing that ever happened.
100%.
Absolutely.
All right, you want to do crumbs and get out of here?
Please. Yeah, I'll go first. I got dual crumb. One of them is Jerry Jones, just because of that shit movie pulled today on Cooper Rush. Everyone's like, oh, they're starting Trey Lance to get him out there. No, they're starting Trey Lance because Cooper Rush had a chance to get a $500K bonus for playing 55% of the snaps he was at 52%.
Oh,
And Jerry was like,
Jesus.
Jerry did the opposite of what the Glazers did. And he was
Wow.
like, nah. And Cooper Rush only makes like $2.2 million a year.
Oh,
So it's
my
a dick move.
Wow.
Dick move out of Jerry. Number one. And
I
my
was wondering
second
why
crumb.
he's out there.
My second crumb is fucking Syracuse basketball.
Now you got me.
I mean, you're not gonna find a bigger Syracuse fan. They're almost unwatchable right now. They can't do anything. They turn the ball over every time down the court. They can't rebound. They can't shoot free throws. We clearly can't fucking coach. We're never ready for a game. We're down 20-6 every fucking game. I've had enough. I had enough. And Sienna looks good with the guy that we should have fucking hired, Jerry McNamara. Fuck.
Our pets' heads are falling off.
No, we're about there, Greg. We're about there.
You gotta switch my phone, Will.
It's unreal.
I gotta drop it off somewhere. Yeah, it's bad. It's embarrassing.
It's bad.
Should never happen.
A team that has 6 guys suing their head coach just beat us by 16 points on Saturday.
Ooh, Florida State?
Yeah.
Yes, correct. Great.
That's speaking of suing and stuff like that, I think we between Greg and all of us, I think the NCAA has probably been on our thing a million times. You know what I mean? But like enough's enough. So I won't single them out, even though they're strictly responsible for it. But I blame everybody. I blame everybody in college football, and these NIL, this is out of control. There's a difference. We talked about
they gotta do something.
We talked about it before. It's the Wild Wild West. Somebody has to clean it up. Even in the transfer portal, there's no more punishments. It's just it's a free for all. You can do whatever you want. And we all for it. I played college sports myself. Right, all for getting paid. Getting paid a little bit. I was a big fan of that. This is outrageous. I mean, these guys are getting $8 million. The guy from Tulane is going to Duke. He's getting $8 million. His package is $8 million. I mean, you got to be kidding me.
Duke's paying $8 million for a player.
Yeah, it's insane.
And they're going to stink.
Absolutely.
And what's the call just came out and said that that next year they're just going to start openly paying all their guys, right? They're going to give all their guys a salary. I think, who was it? Some college basketball team, might have been St. Bonaventure, actually.
Yeah.
Somebody was like, we're just gonna instead of going through boosters, we're gonna give everyone a salary.
Well, that's where Woj ended up. Woj the GM, which I didn't think college had one, but yeah, he's the GM. Woj.
They do now.
Yeah,
Woj they do now.
Yep.
Guess what? Bonnies are balling.
Yeah.
Bonnies are playing good.
It's that
was going to be my crumb. That's funny.
It's sad to see. It's awful, and it's disgusting.
That is absolutely that was my crumb of the week.
Even if you're going to give them money, go give them.
And it's killing other sports. That's where it's getting out of control because you're paying old NIL money now. So when you're talking about baseball scholarships, you're down 4 scholarships on Division I rosters. So now not only are you dealing with the transfer portal, you're dealing with 4 less scholarships. I mean, if you think that's the route you were going as a player, it's even harder now. Yeah. Not that it wasn't hard to begin with, right? But it's even gotten harder, so it's trickled to other sports because they're paying back money, NIL money. So now you got to cut scholarships to pay shit.
It has to be kind of punishment. You have to.
Yeah, there's got to be. There's got to be a governing body of this shit.
You're teaching kids to take the ball and leave. I understand there's bad situations. A coach comes in, a coach leaves, and I get all that. There's a lot of variables that come into it. But even with that, your coach comes in, you came there to play for him. He leaves because he wanted to, either make a better life for his family. He made a financial decision, whatever. It was a stepping stone for him. Okay, you want to go follow him, you have to sit out a year.
That's going to say that's the only way. It's got to go back to a year out.
Or you got to pay back the money.
How about this?
They all have to do it. You have to be accountable. You just cannot do what you want. That's not how life works, dude.
It cuts it down by half if they have to sit a year out. 100%.
Well, how about this? How about you just I even thought about the possibilities just giving guys contracts. Let's not just do this 1-year deal shit where you come there and you get $8 million a year. Let's if you feel this way about a player, then give him a long-term deal to your program. Make deals have to be minimum 3 years. And now you're
I'm on that a little bit.
Now you're forcing guys to stay places. Like,
and you say like you get $500K for the first year.
And it goes
up.
The incentive guys to stay. This isn't hard. Just like the college football playoffs weren't hard when we all talked about this a decade ago. Right. And when Sweeps was calling into the show, like that's how long ago we were talking about it. This isn't hard either. But you gotta have a governing body of some sort. You gotta have it over. Somebody's gotta oversee this. You can't just run wild and everybody does what they want. Like it's not that doesn't I don't need an even playing field either. I need an even playing field in terms of guys fucking staying somewhere. Because what waters down a product more than anything, especially college sports, is you don't know where people are at.
Change.
It's hard. It's hard to keep track of players. I mean, it's got to be hard for NFL scouts, right? In ways. Yep. Like it just there's a lot of variables.
I don't care how
you have over the last.
Go ahead, buddy. Go ahead.
No, I said over the last week you have Jim Mora coming out openly calling out people for tampering with his kids, right? You had Jim Larinaga stepped down at University of Miami after saying he went to the Final Four, and in his postseason meetings he had 8 kids that said they were transferring, and he asked him, he said, "What do you don't like Miami? We're just in the Final Four." And he goes, "No, coach, we love it here. We're just getting more money somewhere else." And then you look at this year. Ever since now, all of a sudden, because you can pay people out in the open, the SEC isn't the big bad wolf anymore, right? Bama's not who they were. Georgia wasn't who they were in the past, because now you look at everybody can play players now.
Talent. The talent's being spread. Yes, I agree. And again, hand to God, I mean, it's helped Syracuse, my favorite team, but I do think that something has to happen.
I'm okay with that. To a point, there has to be, like I said, there just has to be somebody that can reel it in. Right? There's just no reason for these kids. I understand the school makes a lot of money, and and all that good stuff, and then they're piling in fans and they're selling merchandise. I get it, but a young kid that's in college should not be making $5-6 million. I don't care what anybody.
Yeah. And you tell me that these kids are going to class?
Yeah.
Making $6 million, you tell me they're going to class?
Yeah.
No fucking
And like I said, they're getting all these offers and conversations, and they're not even in the portal yet. Yeah. It's happening when they're still committed to the school they're at.
That's what I'm saying. Like, guys aren't even playing in the bowl. They already left. Like, the school year.
Yeah. The timing's different. Yeah, the timing is a 1-year issue.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, that's all problem. The
3-year thing, Tommy, I like the 3-year thing, because then they have to go to school as well. Like, you got to maintain your grades. These guys that are just transferring over, how many do you think these guys are actually going to school? None of them. They ain't going to class. No, they're just changing schools each year.
And listen, we don't expect the NCAA to fix it because they can't have their own way. They're morons. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it starts with the
NCAA.
It starts with the playoff, the seedings. You know what I mean? Like we've been calling for the playoffs for a long time. So some people didn't like 12. They thought that was outrageous. Dude, give me 16. I don't care. The more the merrier. I don't care if they don't belong or not. 16 is a good number. I don't care. It doesn't matter if it's win or down. Everybody, if you're in the top 16, give yourself a chance. You get in the tournament, give yourself a chance. Whether you have a chance to win or not, who cares? Arizona's a play away. Arizona State's one down away, 4th and 13 from a monster upset. From a monster.
Technically, they should have won. Did you hear that?
Nobody wanted it. Nobody expected them to be in that. Not saying nobody expected them to win the game. But. So
that was targeting, Greg, for sure. Is that
absolutely.
That was definitely targeting.
No, I was not even talking about that. Technically, in the NCAA, if you block a field goal, even though it hits the ground, it goes over, which it did. It's supposed to count.
What?
There is a rule in college football that if you go, remember they had that kick blocked,
and it bounced through the uprights,
and it bounced through the uprights. It should have counted.
My dad was saying
according to the NCAA rules, that should have counted.
Old Glennie was saying he thought that should have counted. I was like, that's no
as long as
it's
not touched again, right? So it can be tipped, and then if it bounces and goes over, which it did, because it wasn't touched again, you're able to. That should have counted.
Oh, I must have been taking out the Christmas decorations because I thought that was going to be a blowout. I missed that. So, they got blocked, hit the ground, and went in. What is it, a Super Bowl?
After he blocked it, it made it like 5 yards short. It bounced in the end zone and bounced up through the uprights.
Yep.
Yeah. That's insane. But yeah, I hear
You
you.
know what's crazy is I think Glenn knew that somehow, and I was like, "That ain't fucking right, Glenn. What are you talking about?"
How do you not? How do they not know that?
That's what I'm saying. Like, we don't have guys. We got guys in the booth doing all that.
Has nobody called down?
It took 10 minutes today in the Bucks game. Dean Blandino's up there. Dean goes, that's not supposed to happen. And
Yeah. I
he's
see that when they made it first and goal from like the 30.
Yeah, no, that's
and he's like, no, it should be first and 10 is what he said. And
took him 10 minutes.
Forever.
I mean, it's unbelievable. But like, yeah, I mean, like I said, so just that coupled with the seating part, you know what I mean? As much as, as people might have been anti the college playoff, without the college playoff, you would get Oregon against freaking Georgia. Right? Nobody wanted to see that. But just the way the seeding was terrible. You know what I mean? You're Oregon. You were undefeated. You were the 1 seed, and your booby prize was Ohio State. Get out of here. Get out of town.
Arguably the best team.
Yep.
I feel like it should have been like Oregon won, Oregon won, Georgia 2, and then it should have probably been Ohio State 3.
I don't care
Texas
about the division.
3.
Yeah. Don't tell me about the division stuff. Just rank them 1 to 12. Let's go.
I was gonna say,
State probably
I think we were saying this last week, Sweeps, when you weren't on, but I think their move, the pivot is, if you win the division, you get an automatic bid, but then we're going to seed everybody.
Yeah, it should be 1 to 12. I mean, even with Clemson, I mean, like Penn State would have rolled. It's not Penn State's fault, but Clemson wins the ACC. They're the 12 and SMU's the 11. What? Make it make sense. What are you talking? That don't make any sense. What? If SMU had to be the last team in, right?
Well, yeah, but that's because they had that stupid thing like the 4th division winner is the automatic 12. That's because normally it would be who was the division winner? It normally would be Boise, 5th division winner. Sorry,
I was gonna say
Boise. Well, Boise, they set it up that the small school division, whoever is the small school winner, which was Boise, would be the 12. But because they were ranked higher, they ended up being higher up, which pushed the other division winner to 12. That's why Clemson, whoever won that that game, was going to be 12 seed. Like they knew that, I think, coming in.
I guess.
But yeah, that should change. Agreed.
Yeah.
Weird.
Very weird.
That's why all season I kept saying, technically, because Notre Dame can't get a 1 through 4 because they don't play in a thing.
Correct.
But the 5 is kind of good because you're almost always going to get that, like the Boise State per se team at 12, and then you would get the weakest winner at 4. So it's kind of a good spot, even though it almost didn't work. Well, Texas is still alive, right? They were the 5.
Yeah, Texas, Ohio State.
I could call this a night.
Yeah.
Anything else?
I'm down with that.
My crumb is Amon-Ra St. Brown. Speaking of things that need to change, I'm not even saying he's wrong, but the Detroit Lions have been a cute story for a minute, and now all of a sudden he already wants to change the seeding process of the playoffs. He was bitching and moaning about how the loser of this matchup wouldn't host a playoff game because they, the way the NFL seeds the kind of same thing we're just talking about. The NFL seeds it. But it's like, Amon-Ra, come on, you've been to the playoffs twice. Grow up. Get there a couple more times, and then you can have a seat at the table, and you can your opinion matters because right now it doesn't.
I mean, I don't even care how many times you've been there, but if you don't win your division, then you get the fucking 5 seed. That's how it works. That's how it works, Amon-Ra.
I know. I like a good rant more than anybody, and I'm partially with you. You know what I mean? Like, I would put it this way: the goddamn rules, so there's no reason to talk about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if you want to say, hey, I think the committee should revisit it in the offseason, then do that. You know what I mean? You don't have to, stick your chest out. But a 14-win Vikings team is a 5 seed. That is a little bass backwards, right? But I know they're trying to make you incentivized to win the division.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand that, but it sucks.
Yeah. That's just the way it is.
Yep. That's the way it is.
All right.
If you don't like it, win your division.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We appreciate everybody tuning in. Fly Eagles fly. Let's go Sixers. Have a big week here. And Flyers losing OT tonight.
We are.
So they get a point. And
Fedotov is terrible.
Yeah, he hasn't been very. I mean, only 3 goals tonight. I'll take that.
He looked bad though.
Did he? I didn't watch it, obviously.
Yeah, he was. Two of them were weak. I don't know. I don't like him. He needs to get a lot better.
Is the other dude in jail? No, I mean, I was just going to ask you guys.
I don't
No,
think
he's
he's
not
in jail,
officially
but
in jail, but
apparently
he can't
apparently it's not good.
Yeah, I wasn't asking for us, just as like a follow-up story. Like, hey, where is he now? Hey, where is he now? You know, that's all.
I think headed to trial, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah.
He might be playing in Russia.
Oh.
Yeah, the Kulak. Yeah, they don't have any rules over the
Yeah.
Kulak.
No.
It is really live at 1 a.m. We're about to be out, though, I think.
Yeah.
Thanks for stopping by, Sean. Appreciate you.
Yeah, you can go back and listen to it all if you just join us. If you're still rocking and rolling late at night. We'll see you guys next Sunday. Flag will
Suck
fly,
it, Don
baby.
Don.
We're
Yeah. Peace.
We're coming down.
We're coming down.